good. Welcome everybody to the third episode of Rolling Until Ragnaroks to Felling a Tyrant, I think is what we're calling this. Yeah. I know things. I'm on top of things, guys, don't worry. It has been a long year this month, let me tell you. But you'll notice that some backgrounds changed. It's because some people had to change places because guess what? There's a hurricane and the world has just changed places on us here where we live. It's been a lot of fun. And so, but we're getting back to D&D. We are still partnered with Doomlings. And let me tell you, y'all should go buy some Doomlings with our link. You get 15% off your entire order, not just one item or two items. Everything you throw in there, you should definitely go ahead and do that. There is a whole bunch of cool plushies, but make sure you get at least the base set game. Go play it. It is a ton of fun. You are not going to regret it. It's perfectly priced, and they send everything to you so well and so quickly packaged. It's just amazing. We are on episode 3, though. Last time, our heroes found their way through a little tournament of sorts where Mayrin made a whole bunch of gold betting on her friends to win fights, and then let me tell you, she harassed the city councilman, or I guess you'd call him the sheriff, really. And now they are taking their winnings and everything else they scooped up. I believe you guys also got some information and supplies to make sure that the caravan, the soul caravan, can be fixed up. Not related to our frog Templar, or ex-Templar, or whatever Soul wants to call himself. But no, the soul caravan, the soul company. Not the Soul Rana company, but the other Soul company. This is going to be a great opening. And let me tell you. But now they're getting on their horses and elk and making their way back south to the caravan so that they can hopefully push off. So here we go. We're going to settle in. You guys have been, I'm going to say you guys have been traveling for... just briefly, you just got out of line of sight of the little town that you were just in. You're pushing back into the woods currently. Who's leading the group back? This is a very simple role, let me tell you. This will be you've already been here and done this. It's just about following your way back.
Would it be like a navigation roll? Instinct?
Yeah, this is going to be an instinct roll with advantage because you've already been here, done that type of thing.
I'd be cool to try that if that's cool with everybody.
Yeah, I feel like Asen would be in the back, watching the things from behind.
Yeah, and Soul is actively looking for water to rinse off because it's been a rough day.
Very cool, very cool.
You said instinct with advantage, right?
Yes. Advantage in Daggerheart means you roll an extra d6 and add that to the roll.
The higher of the die.
I just want this to be known. I feel like this should count for something.
I think
I rolled 2 3s on my hope dice, and then the d6 was also a 3.
Oh, so you crit. Good job.
Yeah, like all 3s.
No, that's perfect. Isis, who has, man, you have traveled the lengths of hell and back in a literal sense.
Literal.
Somebody who has had to navigate through the wastes of one of the rings of hell. This is not hard. Although you're not used to being around, the woods or the nice growing of grass. This is still not a problem. So I guess because you did crit, I will let you make a decision. you can go back towards the way you came, if you remember where that logging camp was, where you found the two hobgoblins, and kind of oversee, like, look at that, because as you remember, they said they were worried about people taking their spot, and doing that, and that could be something that you take some time out to do, or if you would like, you can stick to the actual road back that's supposed to be quicker and go straight through the forest. It's your choice. I mean, it's really all of your choices, but Isis is the one leading you all, so here we are. You can decide how you want how to make that decision, though. An episode of fun decisions, let me just say.
I feel like Isis's thoughts would be, since Tam Tam and Ron Ron were so nice to us, to help us, give us a place to stay, they were so kind and thoughtful, her initial reaction would probably be just to check on their spot, because I know they said that they do get taken pretty easily. So she would want to make sure that was still available for them.
Fantastic.
Kind of like a courtesy.
We're all good with this?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think Asen would be paying that much attention. Right?
All right.
He just knows we're all going back, so.
Right. No, makes sense.
And I think Soul is less than eager to get back quickly because the dragons are coming back.
Right. I will say it has been a couple days. So in your mind, you'd be like, I want to know what happened when the dragons came back.
Okay.
At this point. As long as they came back, when they said they would. Which,
yes.
Coin flip to that,
True.
But here we go. You guys make your way back down the same beaten path that you did the first time. You are coming down the little ridge that kind of leads to not the beach area, but like I say beach area because it's like the mouth of the river that they were throwing logs into to have them go downriver to where they were cutting them. So you're passing by all these like felled trees. Some of them look like they have been, naturally worn down over time, but others look like they've been started to be chopped up and made into like larger logs to send downriver. And you can see a little bit of smoke from this area, as if somebody has moved in and started to make a fire where they were. But there's nobody to be seen. You can still see their hut is set up on the side of the river, the same hut that you found Ron in when his leg was hurt. You can still see there's a lot of damage from the scuffle of the two large manticore, I believe, that were fighting each other. Are they griffins?
I think we said manticore.
I think we said manticore,
Yeah.
I believe so too. Yeah. It's fun.
Chimera was the actual word we used for it.
Yeah, they were chimeras, and that's funny because normally there's shivers involved with chimera, but there weren't this time, so haha. Anyway.
Yeah, we've done the shivers.
We sure have.
So don't worry, Soul will learn about those someday. And but you can see the scuffle, the fight left that all the damage left from the chimera, but still there is this pile, and there's some pots next to it as if somebody has just eaten. But if anybody else would like to do some kind of inspection, I'm gonna say you're about 40 feet off. Like, you guys are still kind of standing. You're on the same side of the river now, but you can still see the smoke. You can see that that's what you initially see, at least.
I think as we approach, Soul is just gonna try to keep an eye out, see who it is, see if they can see any sign of who exactly it is that has taken up residence here. Mm-hmm. And I think how he'll do that is just hopping off the horse and into the water and just try and swim up behind where the camp was to get a better view.
Okay. The water itself is pretty. There's a lot of push to it, but this is what you do. So, I would say that you wouldn't have any issues with it. But what I would like is, you can choose what kind of roll you're gonna do, as long as you give me a good reason for how that is gonna be the thing that you roll to do the inspection. So, like, for instance, in this, just because viewership, this is Daggerheart, this is people learning things as we go. If you were to say, I'm going to use my agility roll for this because I'm going to tread water better than the next person over and be able to get a better view of it. Like, as long as you can give me a good reason why that's the roll we'll use.
I think actually I will be using agility for this one, but not for the sake of treading water, but for just the deftness of being able to move through and find a good spot to perch up at the back of the camp.
Yeah, it sounds great. Okay, give me that agility roll, and yeah, perfect. And make sure y'all tell me when you roll on fear.
That is a 14 on fear.
Fantastic.
11 on fear, 1 on hope.
Ew.
I'm gonna let y'all know I currently have 3 fear.
Oh,
Okay.
God. Okay.
Lovely.
Keeping track of
So
things.
I also know that we probably were not quiet on our approach. And so I feel like Asen would like use his instincts to like maybe get really, really still and, kind of in the sense of like trying to increase his perception type of deal to kind of see if there's anyone coming up behind us.
Okay.
Right?
I really just want to say, I just to take us out of this for a moment, I really, really thought Asen was about to be like, I'm gonna get really still and become invisible and do the whole like Guardians of the Galaxy thing, and I was gonna be like, no,
Go full tracks.
yeah, just fully into tracks.
I can't believe I missed that opportunity.
Hey.
If I don't move, they can't see me. I'm so still. Like I
Oh,
really,
that would have been great. I just turn around and look at Ace and be like, buddy, where'd you go? Oh my God, you're gone.
All right. Anyway, the perception to feel the world around you, I completely understand. If you'd like to give me as well
I was gonna do an instinct roll.
Yeah, an instinct roll for that. That'd be great. And then I'll tell you both what you all kind of see.
Would that count as survival knowledge? Because I get advantage when I use your survival knowledge.
I think for this one I'd give it to you because it's kind of like you. Yeah, I think in this case it would be survival knowledge to you because it's like I got to make sure people aren't going to sneak up on me. I got to make sure it's you surviving in Underwing. I think that's kind of what you're doing here.
Right.
Is applying that.
That was a 15 on hope.
15 on hope. Okay. So, Soul, you are kind of perched up on this like little shore bank, and you got a clear shot of kind of the damaged part of the side of it, so you can see just inside the tent. This like little bungalow that's been made, and you can see something move in it. There's a shadow. It doesn't seem like it would be. It's definitely not as big as Isis. That's all we're gonna say. Like it's not as big. It's not as tall as Isis. It's not as big as Isis, but it's humanoid nonetheless. That's all I can really give you on what you rolled. But you did get a clear shot that there is somebody in there, just kind of moving around. Asen, with your roll, you don't get a sense that anything's even watching you. Like this is not a moment where you would like. It wouldn't trigger like your danger sense. It wouldn't do anything like that. On hope though, you would notice that the pots and pans, and I say this in the terms of like, they look familiar, but not in the terms of like, oh, I've seen this specific pot and pan before, but it's like the forge work. It's kind of like the way they were made. These are definitely from Underwing. Like just the way they were like knocked out. It's kind of like you know when you see like a set of plates and you're like, hey, my grandma had those when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
everybody's
Yeah.
grandma had these plates when I was a kid.
Oh my
This frosted glass is the one that every child had, like, type of thing. But and that's what I mean is like this is like you're looking at these and you're like you notice it, like this pan, this plate that is like, you know, damaged and like cut, like it's cut from the metal that would have been from, like, you looking at it, you're like, this is a set, like somebody else here is from Underwing. You can see it.
In that case, Asen would definitely just like flat out like yell out, you know, like blood and fire, you know, after like seeing that and like beeline straight there. He's like, this is somebody that I know.
Cool. All right.
Oh, so we're just walking in. Okay.
You know, well, I mean, he'd be like, it's okay, Fluffy.
Marin's
He
gonna
walked by.
Marin's gonna look up at Isis and say, it's a good thing he's pretty.
God, you're so right. She would just follow along behind him. I guess this is Asen's friend. Like, you know, hello, friend of Asen.
You hear, huh? Fuck. You just like he's like kind of talks to himself. Rana, you see as he stands, as the humanoid, like from what you thought was a humanoid, like this humanoid thing gets taller and wider as it stands up. You thought it was already, he was moving on his knees when he was looking around before. So as he stands and widens out, you also see a tail flicker behind as it moves. And this large red dragonkin, what would you call him? Like a dragonborn dragonkin, like lizard person, with this really hooked nose at the front, and the frills, like as if he would had the what do you call it? Like the hood for like a cobra.
Oh, yep.
He has like the hood on the side, and his tail is long and like almost whip-like. It's his tail, like if you were to like stretch him all the way out, his tail is definitely as long as his body. And he like kind of peeks his head out, and he kind of looks, and he's like, blood and fire. Yes. Can I help you?
Can you help me? What brings you outside of our, you know, outside of Underwing, right? Like, I haven't run into many of us out here.
He kind of like messes with his nose a little bit, and many of us. Oh, you're from Underwing too. Yes, blood and fire, friend. And he points.
And then like Asen's gonna do the whole like where he expects him to like cross, I guess arms with him or something, like a traditional.
Yeah,
you know.
he'll do the whole kid and play handshake with you if you need him to.
They even have secret handshakes. That's so cool.
So to everybody else, just so you all know, and Soul, you can make your way back to the front if you need to, or you can stay hidden for all you need to. Like, I'm gonna let you decide here. But for the rest of you, this lizard person is built like Asen. This is a very tall, very wide, like He-Man-esque looking lizard person with like this hood, and the inlay of the hood is white, and all of his scales are red. He has like the black, dark like tips of all of these things, his nose and his claws. His claws look like they are made for like churning through rock and stone. This is a mixture of just a bunch of different types of lizards like smashed into one, made into a humanoid person.
Asen doesn't judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you met Marin?
Right. But he he is built like he is made to do work. And he kind of looks around, does the whole handshake with Aeson, and he goes, it's good to meet you, my friend. I am Langer from Underwing. I am here on a mission, actually. I have to. If you wait, I'll get to my supplies and I'll show you.
Absolutely.
And he like skitters back into the thing, and you hear like a bunch of like he's going through bags.
Right.
While
I feel
he's
like-
doing that, I'll go back behind the group and just catch up.
Yeah, and be like, and then kind of like look around, like he's from Underwing, like, like that just explains everything that just
Oh,
happened.
so you don't like actually like know the guy, like he's just from your town.
Don't you know everybody? He's from our town, therefore we are friends.
Look, where I come from, all the people that I know aren't necessarily friends.
You'll see. I'll show you. Because I bet you he knows rule number 5.
Mm.
Mayrin, would you give me a... I'm gonna say this would be a instinct roll.
Oh shit! I threw my dice on the floor. I need a different one.
Okay.
Where the fuck?
I'll get
Okay.
my dice out now.
The clear ones are fear, so that's on hope to begin with. It's a 16 on hope.
Beautiful. Everybody else is focused on what's going on here, and you can feel the tingle around you, like the like weight on your bones, that moment you get that smell. There's a large storm coming in. You can feel it before it starts to surmount, we'll say. The wind picks up a little bit. You can tell that like the clouds are starting to like keep rolling in instead of moving along. They're starting to congregate above you all. As this like it's a very large. It's gonna rain fairly heavily. You would catch that before this all begins. You can also see that the river itself is starting to churn a little bit harder, and the level is starting to rise just slightly. But our what did I just say this guy's name was? I'm so sorry.
Langer.
Lander, right?
Langer.
I have it written down twice in 2 different ways, and I was like, "Oh, which one did I pick?" Yeah, that's right, Langer. Thank you. That's funny. So Langer comes back out, and he is holding this like you would recognize it as they are like bounty hunter writs. And he's got them all like rolled up, and some of them are balled up. There's like some tatters to it. He's not really taking care of them the way he probably should be, but he's been traveling pretty far. And he goes, friend, no, I am here because it has been said that there's a group of people that escaped without paying their tithings or asked to leave Underwing, and as you know, that's a horrible crime against our Lord Cinderlace and our sheriff Utra. So Utra told me that if I bring them back, I will get more rations for the year.
Oh, that is such a great deal.
Yes. You've been gone for some time?
Longer than I would have liked to have been. I'm traveling with
He pulls out like this wrapped little thing, and you unwrap it, and it's a long piece of this like underwing style like pork thing that they make. It's like their version of jerky that is like made in like the steel mills there. And he goes, I share with you, and tears it up and hands you a piece.
And then like Ace will grab, brother, yes. It has been too long. These others don't eat what we eat.
He
Their
starts
food's very bland.
He watches
You
you.
don't
Yeah, he watches you chew. It's got like, it's just spice. Like it would be like eating a straight like ghost pepper. Like it's just full on. Like you can feel it in your jaw. Like it's crazy. And he's watching you and he's chewing, and he goes, "It's good. This is good. I want to share something with a friend before I have to fight you and take you back home."
Mayrin has like this visible look of disgust at them eating meat until that statement is said, and then she's absolutely just pulls out her weapon.
Soul
is leaning over.
I show
like,
you.
what are you talking about?
Oh, I show you. Don't worry.
Yes.
And he rolls out the scroll, and he goes through it, and your face is like the third one there. And it's like a very crude drawing of you. Think like if you ever watched Tangled, how like they had like it was Flynn's face, but it really wasn't Flynn's face. Like if you get
his nose wrong?
Nose, right?
no, they got like they have like your entire thing, but like your jaw's not there. Like you don't have your chiseled jawline. You have
Right.
you have like it just goes into like a neck, and it's like this is obviously a bad drawing. Like, but it specifically has your name below it as well.
So I feel like Asun would be, brother, there seems to be some sort of confusion. I, too, am from Underwing. I know the importance of paying tithes. We just paid tithes in the village that we left. Are you sure that's correct?
I am doing what I'm told. You are one of the list. I passed by Jers, and he points to one of the other guys, and this is a gentleman that you would have escaped with. Like this is like one like when you were like smuggled out of Underwing, Jers would have been one of the other guys that like was smuggled with you. And he would have been like, I passed by Jers, I took him back. He did not throw much of a fight. Just this one over, and he shows you like he lifts his arm and there's a giant chunk of like his side like taken off. He goes, he left me with a great scar, and I believe that you probably will too. And I understand. I will not kill you, but you will not wake up for some time.
And then, like, you're just gonna see, like, Asun, like, pull out his axe and, like, put it on his shoulder and be like, brother, I wish I didn't have to do this.
Are we
have
choosing?
the opportunity.
Are we choosing axes?
I have something that needs to be completed. So you can wait till it's completed, and then we will not have to choose axes.
Roll presence.
That is intimidation.
Yeah, that's cool.
Bet. Okay, presence, and then let me roll that first. Oh fuck! Critical success, 2 10s, 19 in total.
Beautiful.
This is the day for crits.
Ooh.
Langer.
Fuck yeah!
Critter day.
Langer kind of like gets up, like he tries to like pump himself up a little bit, you know, like, oh yes, this is going to be a good fight. And as he does it, you can see some of the blood kind of like pour out of the cut he already has. And he goes, annoying. I do not have an axe with me. And he kind of looks at the rest of you. And like he kind of looks at Soul first and shakes his head like no. Any axe he's gonna use is gonna be like the size of Soul. and then he like looks at Mayrin holding her
Quarterstaff,
and he's just like sticks. And like kind of sneers a little bit. And then he looks at Isis and goes, "Do you have a weapon I might duel your friend with and take him home?"
I feel like her eyes would get a little bit redder as the fire would start to burn and be like, got these, but you have to take them off my hands first. Good luck with that.
And he looks at Aeson and goes, "You're not going to wait for me to kill your friend to duel you, are you?"
Fluffy? No.
This is so much work. I'm not really here to do all of the work. I'm really just here to apprehend people. What are you doing before?
Brother. And then he'll like reach out to like touch him, be like,
Yeah.
look,
Oh.
I have been requested specifically as someone great from Underwing to escort this caravan to Underwing.
So you're
I
going
will
back.
be returning. I am. Hence is why the confusion.
He sucks his teeth a little bit, does a little snake thing that he like the little, and he thinks and goes, "I cannot mark you off the list, but I can, what do you call it when you color in the person?"
You can color?
Yeah, look. And he like pulls out like he has like a legit highlighter, and he's asking you what it's called when he highlights somebody. He doesn't know. Everybody else listening, you all understand what's going on, but this is now just two meatheads talking to each other.
Somebody get these kids a box of crayons.
But he shows you. He goes, and he puts a little like bright circle around your face, and he goes, I maybe get the drawing fixed too, but if I'm going to go through the rest of the list, and if you're not back by that time, I'm going to have to come back and I will have to fight you.
I will be ready. I hope you are too, but
He looks at the blood on his like coming out of the wound and goes, "I'll be more ready next time, but still it'll be a good fight.
It will be a glorious fight." And it's like Aeson like chest puffly like, yeah.
I'm gonna go back inside here and clean myself up." And he looks at the sky and the rain starts to fall and he goes, "It looks like it's going to rain. You should go back and make camp in the woods."
What's a little rain?
It's true.
Rule number 5, brother.
Yes, rule number 5. It's just rain. It's not rain with a name unless somebody names it first. And then he walks inside.
What?
I don't think I got that rule. Do we have different teachers?
I'm gonna leave this.
You got all your rules from a teacher? We're gonna have to. I have so many more questions.
There is a lot to unpack there.
I'm gonna have to.
What is happening?
I don't know, but Isis is the first one back in the caravan because she doesn't like rain.
Soul's just going to turn to you all and say, "Before it rains, I'm going to grab us dinner," and hop back in the river with fishing net out.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so you all have like animals with you, and you have like one what do you call it? Like not a carriage, but like a pull cart that has a bunch of like supplies in it. The rain does start to pick up. I'm gonna say, Soul, you definitely can catch some fish and some dinner. Where are you guys gonna go from here? Even if you were to stay, the little bungalow isn't large enough for more than 2 people. Definitely not large enough for both Aeson and this giant lizard guy who is now chilling in this place. So this is one of those things where, like, are you going back into the woods? Are you just going to continue down the path? Soul, I will say that when you are in the middle of catching fish, you can feel that the river is starting to flood. Like, this is definitely, like, the rain is going to pick up, and it is going to become getting worse to the point where, like, you can tell it's like, hey, we need to move somewhere to get...
We need to get to the high ground.
At least high ground. We need to get somewhere at least safer. You can also see that some of the animals that you guys are with are starting to get very much sketched out over the lightning and thunder.
I think as I bring the Hall of Fish back up, I'll come to the group and just say, we don't have long before this floods. We need to get to higher ground, and we need to do it now.
Mm.
Cool. I
Should
guess
we
as we're
tell your
walking,
friend?
yeah, I was gonna say as we're walking, I'd be like, hey brother, this area might flood. Yeah, and like that's it. Like
You just hear
I said,
he yells out, "Ah, my father lives in water."
Okay.
Suppose my father does too.
so that will lead to that, and just be like, blood and fire. Keep it moving.
Yeah, you hear him yell it back out as you all are leaving up the road. Does somebody want to roll me instinct or knowledge to try and find a place to see if you can post up for this storm? Or
Yeah, I can do that.
As I
Yeah.
said, be Asen.
Not Asen.
Just yeah, look, just came back from meeting a brother. We didn't have to fight, although that probably would have been a glorious battle.
I'm so sure it would have.
if it was not a crit, it would have been.
That is a 20 on hope.
20 on hope. Wow. You can see that if you were to push further into the woods, that is kind of where the hills begin. So that's where the uphill is. Further down this road, you would remember that there is some like it almost looked like ruins of like maybe an old town or like the outskirts of something. Like you remember seeing the ruins of like stone houses or stone buildings at some point that were like covered up in moss and stuff like that. So this is something that you could walk towards if you wanted to maybe like check that out. 20 on hope, let's see. Or you could just push further down and try and just push through the storm as quick as possible if you wanted to just, do that. It's kind of up to you guys.
And so we'll just lay out the options there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Isis not being used to weather like this isn't something that she's very fond of. Her option would probably be to post up somewhere until at least this subsides, and then we can move forward. After that, I guess maybe staying off the road and hidden might be better than just like being out in the open somewhere.
The ruins would give us good coverage, but are they on more low-lying ground or are they a bit higher up?
If you were to stick to the road, it's kind of there's definitely it's definitely the lower ground unless you were to go back towards the riverbed.
Okay.
Mm.
The woods usually give pretty good coverage. We can find somewhere there that would be decent if we wanted to be away from a flooding river.
I'm really kind of leaning towards that option. What does everyone else think?
That this is a lot of planning for rain.
We could just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
I don't think the rest of you are keeping up with Soul if we start swimming.
No, I was like, I ain't. No.
What a bet. You want to make it a race?
I was like, I ain't swimming nowhere.
As you guys
Remember, I have a plan.
Oh my gosh. As you guys talk about this, you can hear the first of like the large lightning crackles that hit near you. I would need either Asen or Soul to roll me a Actually, why don't both of you give me a strength check to keep your and or if you can just if or you can either give me a strength check or a finesse check to keep your animals under control.
But would this be considered like side advantage on traversing dangerous cliffs or ledges, harsh environments?
I feel like it's
This is definitely a harsh environment, but this is more of a an animal handling type of thing. So I would say that like because of how like sudden it was and because of how like you guys are in the middle of conversation, I would just say just do a flat roll for me.
So flat strength roll.
Yeah.
The
That is
15 on hope for me.
I got a 12 on hope.
Great. Asen's Asen, your horse kind of like you could tell it's like it tries to like take off, and you kind of like pull it, and you're like what, and like you like at like you get it, like this is it's starting to like all the animals are starting to get a lot more spooked over how loud the thunder is, how close the lightning is getting. You can feel some of like the bright flashes are starting to like take notice. And Soul, you kind of like coax your little guy to stay calm for a minute, and he doesn't take off with Asen's, but you can tell he's trying to like follow Asen's horse as it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going, folks?
I'm telling y'all, we need to having to fight these animals the whole way on top of it.
Let's head for the hills and the woods if everyone's all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
There might be something to fight there.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Somebody, let's see, who hasn't rolled a bunch of shit yet? Mayrin, roll me a d12.
Oh no. It's an 8.
8. Okay, cool. It's hard to see. The rain is heavy. It feels like it is being tossed at you from two different angles, even as the heavier of the raindrops are falling down, pushing through the canopy, and the wind is picking up and throwing the lighter of the raindrops sideways at you. You're kind of moving around the trees as best as you can. The two animals that are attached to the cart are helping pull this cart up into the hillside a little bit. This is, whenever you can find a set of trees that work and kind of like keep the rain or the wind off of you, it's like this moment of reprisal before you hear a large crackle of thunder and or see a tree split next to you from the lightning as this storm really pushes onto these trees and into the woods itself. It's definitely pouring overhead as it brings the wind down, and the darkness from the clouds covering the sky really sets in. It seems like you guys are kind of like pushing through. It would be hard to hear one another, but on an 8, you guys are currently together at this moment. And then a large tree next to you is lightning doesn't strike the top of it to snap it. Lightning strikes the base of the tree, lighting it on fire and bursting it from the bottom up. There is a large think of like this, like if a dead tree was just struck by lightning and the whole tree just burst outwards. It almost kind of leaves like shrapnel around. It scares all the animals. You can taste like sawdust in your mouth at the same time because of how hard this tree just burst in front of you, and fire lights up. I will need a finesse roll from each one of you.
Oh boy.
No.
I could not possibly have rolled worse.
I mean, you could have rolled 2 1s.
That's a
I mean, that's at least a crit.
I was gonna say that would have been a critical success.
No, it
Been,
wouldn't.
that's
It's a
true.
critical fail at our table.
Oh, odd.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Okay, so what did you roll, Soul?
That's a 3 on fear.
Nice. What did Asen roll?
15 on hope.
What did Isis roll?
14 on hope.
Mayrin?
Yeah, 14 on fear.
Okay. So as this happens, Asen, what is your initial reaction?
I would say it would be to use his axe as a shield.
Okay. So Asen puts his axe up and shields some of the debris as it comes pushing towards him. Your horse is one of the ones that is connected loosely to the cart. You're able to you're the strength of the group. You're one of the stronger people in the group. So keeping the horse steady to pull this cart up this hill is kind of where you're at. But you put this in front of you. This whole thing comes blindingly forward. The fire lights up, and some of the debris goes around you. Isis, you also would see as your horse tries to take off, but you kind of wrangle it a little bit. You kind of keep it steady. You look back and you can see Asen holding the cart down. In this moment, you guys are very close together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any initial reaction to this as all this is happening?
I feel like her first thoughts would be to somehow try to get the fire under control.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that doesn't start spreading everywhere. So she would use her elemental instincts to somehow try to suppress the fire or keep it something like that, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. Why don't you throw a spellcast roll at it for me? Mayrin and Soul though. We'll start with Mayrin. Mayrin, your horse or elk, I don't remember which one you're riding, just spazzes out at all of this. You see the lightning hits the tree pops off, a big piece of shrapnel lodges itself in the horse's neck, and your horse just whips to the side and takes off running to the north, almost instinctively scared. While you do get it under control, it does take you a couple minutes, and in those couple minutes, this horse has brought you through bushes, through tinder, through briars. You have you getting hit by a branch even as it slaps forward, and you are starting to pull your horse to the side, and you're getting it settled down. And it takes a second. It a little clip clop, and it looks around. It looks at you. You can see it. You can see the fear in its eyes. But you get it to stop.
It takes her every bit of this run to regain herself. Because when a tree explodes from lightning, it is full of heat. And every piece of this wood that has hit her, it reminds her of one of her deaths, of when she fell into lava. of the heat of that fall. And it takes every bit of this fleeing of the horse for her to remember she's not there anymore. That she was brought back. And as she gets it calm, or at least not running anymore, she's also been stabbed in the leg, so she knows that this thing is in immense pain with this piece of wood in it. And it's not gonna make it any easier to try and calm it down before she can get this piece of wood out. And so she's gonna have to take the time to secure this horse to a tree or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then she's going to have to pull this. I assume it's probably a big chunk like this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to have to pull that out and very quickly heal this horse.
So you get down off the horse in the darkness, in the rain. The rain here at this, where you're at now, is not as heavy because the wind isn't as prevalent. And as you put your hand up into the darkness, you realize, oh, it's because you're standing in front of a giant, large, black stone wall. And that is why, it's not as much darkness as it is just hard black stone that is very tall. It looks like there might be a walkway above you even. And you realize, oh, these are walls to like a village or to a town maybe, or to something. But there are little like posts along the wall that you can tie the horse up to. As you are doing just that, you would hear whatever Soul sounds like when his pony takes him out of control straight into the wall. Soul, you will have to roll me, or Soul, you will have to mark me off a stress, please.
All right.
As you just collide with this wall face first, with your pony, and do you have the ability to keep your pony chill? Is my question. So, what I want from you specifically is, in this moment, as you collide with the wall, I'm going to say an agility check, an agility roll, to see if you can keep your pony under control or if it just takes off into the darkness.
Probably not. That is a 9 on hope.
9 is a little bit low. It is on hope though, so that's kind of nice. I'm gonna say that you collide with the wall. You kind of like, you get thrown off. Mayrin, he's like 10 feet from you. As he gets thrown off, you see this whole thing just, and then he just, yeah,
just absolute screaming coming from Soul as they hit the wall.
Yeah, you watch Soul's body like, and then like slowly slide down the wall, and his pony just takes straight off into the darkness, straight away from you guys on against the wall. And the pack that the pony had on it also falls next to Soul. So now this is just a saddleless pony running through the darkness.
Do we see any of this, right? Like, does
No.
Asen and Fluffy, we see? Okay,
you all are now separated.
Check.
Isis and Asen, to go back to you guys specifically, you guys get everything under control. What was your roll for Isis?
It was 212s, a crit.
Wonderful. Isis pulls the fire into her, holds it into a little ball, and kind of like just pushes it out. It just turns into like little cinders and disappears into the rain. There's now just a big black stump there that looks like it has been charred in different areas. Your guys' horses kind of like stand firm. Next to you is a some ruins of like what looks like it might have been a hunting lodge or like a little shack where people would have kept like the skins of animals or whatever. You can't smell it on the air because of how heavily it's raining, but if you were to push into it and get inside of this place, you would smell like old dried up blood. Like this is where they would have like bled the animals near it and then like probably chopped them up and made it like done all the hunting stuff that you do where you're like taking apart the animal afterwards and making sure there's probably still some like different like bones and stuff like left up in like some of the stuff, but there's also supplies. And this is also a pretty sturdy little building to have lasted this long. And it's kind of built into the side of one of the hills, and it would have a spot to keep the horses in the cart fairly safe if you wanted to do that. This is a pretty good find, is my point.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. If Asen would like pat his horse and be like, "I'm more scary than lightning." Yeah, good horse.
Yes, you are. I feel like looking around, not being able to see the others, Isis would look to Asen and be like, I know we need to look for them, but currently we're just going to be wandering around in the darkness, and we're just going to get lost. It's just going to make it worse. So maybe we should just post up here until this clears and then go look for the others.
We have to look for others?
Mm-hmm. The other two in the group, Asen.
Right. Frog has a thing we need. Right. Frog. Okay.
Yep. Soul and Mayrin.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Mayrin, are you are healing your horse?
Mm-hmm.
Are you helping Soul? You two are basically together as well. Mm-hmm. Pushed up against this large wall. Are you staying there? Or are you going to kind of follow the wall around? What are we doing?
I think Soul kind of stumbles to his feet, disoriented, and has to take a second before seeing that Mayrin is even there.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, we'll just take stock and see that Mayrin's horse is also injured. Mine is gone, and there's a wall that I got very well acquainted with, and just ask, what happened?
Typically not how I run into walls, but that was interesting. We'll find the pony when it stops raining. Does Pony have a name, or are we just calling it Pony?
I haven't named it yet.
Oh, that might be a good idea to not do. This is Geraldine. Her horse is absolutely a male.
Mm-hmm. Of course it is. All right.
Geraldine, all right. Have you helped Geraldine already? I'm trying to picture mentally where you're at with that process.
She probably has in all that time, because looking at you, you seem uninjured.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't have like night vision considering that we're demons. I was trying to find that. I feel like we would have had night vision. Just being
it still would have been hard to see because of the rain.
okay.
So to comment on that further, Soul and Mayrin, you both are kind of getting yourselves together, and then you would just hear like kind of a deeper voice from the direction your pony ran off in. And then you'd see like a firelight, kind of like a torchlight, and you'd Do you need some help? Hey.
We lost our pony.
Yeah.
It's like a large dog, small horse.
I'm acquainted with what ponies and horses are. Yes. And the torchlight kind of pushes into safe, and it's a large Minotaur.
Oh,
He has.
aren't you though?
He has like these longer horns that come up like this. He has like rings off to the side of him, and his chest is painted. But he also kind of looks like a water buffalo, if you get what I mean.
Okay.
And he has a large pack next to him that looks like it has some boulders in it, with a book on the bottom of it, just kind of like hanging underneath of it, flapping back and forth. And he, yes, I think your pony ran into our camp. It's in the near the Abbey now.
We should go get your pony soul.
We probably should.
You should get out of the rain, is what you should do.
We were working on that.
You were working.
Lightning hit a
terribly.
tree.
You hit the wall for what it looks like, and he points to like this whole piece of the wall that has like little like cracks and chunks sticking out. You need to be careful. This is a great find. This is a scientific research place.
Of what now?
Soul will just, still dizzy, try to bow, almost fall over, and just say apologies before having to brace himself on his knees to keep from
Farron's
falling
gonna
over.
like reach and grab
No.
to keep Soul from falling on his head.
No. Don't do none of this. Let me come back to our camp. There's more of us. We're waiting for the rain to pass so we can get back to work.
I'll just look at Mayrin momentarily and say nothing and follow behind if he's starting to move that way.
Yeah. She's going to pull the horse in like smooth where it was injured with her hand.
Mm-hmm. Where is it?
So, what's your name?
Gotta make sure I get it right. There's two of them that are very, very close to being the same character. I just need to make sure I know which one's which.
Terrifying.
He goes, my name is Grant. I'm a researcher.
Grant.
Mm-hmm. And then, as he gets you all over to their camp, there's a lot of other Minotaurs. There's like a good handful, like you would see about 12. They're all like different little firelights underneath like big tarp. Think like an archaeology camp for real, like large tarps that are like pulled out and like pushed under. Everybody's kind of pitched under these different tarps. They're like holding down other like things on top of like these rocks, and there's a lot of like pickaxes and stuff around. And Grant kind of walks you over, and there's this older. He has like gray and white hair, and he's kind of portly, and he is this like buffalo-ish looking gentleman of a Minotaur. His two little horns are very small, and he's got like a big old like safari hat on, and he has a cane, and he's sitting, and he's like, "Oh, hello, we have more. As your all's little pony just ran through here. She's up there now. She's up there. I'm sure she's okay. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Professor Hamlin."
Pleasure to meet you, Professor Hamlin. My name is Sol of the Rana Clutch.
It's nice to meet you, little frog person. I have not ever met anybody from the Rana Clutch. I know people from other clutches, but it is so nice. Were you all hungry? We are about to eat. We have some vegetable soup, and I cannot eat meat anymore. And he opens his mouth, and you can see a bunch of his teeth are like worn all the way down. And he just shows you because he's an old buffalo and doesn't care anymore. But he's like, but I have some great mash if you all would like. And Grant just kind of like snickers, and he's like, and if you all would like something else, I have other means of food too. But we're not. Professor Hamlin's kind of on his own little schedule here.
As one is.
On hearing mash, Sol's thoughts go immediately to the bug paste.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll just look at him and say, "Mash, you say?" With a bit of intrigue in my eyes.
Yes. It's just like churned up roots and a little bit of bone broth and various things. I think it'd be good. And he like pulls it out, and it's just gray stuff.
Looks like gruel.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. You know what? I got myself into wanting the mash. Let's do it. So we'll look at him and just say, if I may, I'll certainly try it.
Of course, yes. It's always nice to break bread, as this is say, with other cultures. I would love to talk and know more about where you come from and everything. I am a professor of history.
Histories. Here histories? Or like worldly histories? Or histories of people?
Yes. All of the above.
Is there meat in this vegetable soup?
There is some bone broth, but it would never. It had meat on it at one point, but I think now it was not taken from them by force. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Maren's gonna like accept some of the vegetable soup. That is as close to eating meat she's ever gonna get.
Yes. It's just broth. You'll be okay. It's not real. And he like shakes it off. This is completely ridiculous. And Grant kind of sits down next to you and goes, It wasn't made with meat, but the bone broth had meat on it at one point. Yeah, I mean, it's not. If you're a vegetarian, I can get you some salad or something, I think.
This is fine.
Fantastic. I'm not. I hope you enjoy. And he just kind of sits down and he starts tinkering with some stuff. I will let you all talk to them in a minute. I would like to go back to Aeson and Isis for a moment. Are you all staying where you're at the whole night?
I would think so.
It's comfortable.
Okay.
Smell of, blood and death.
Very good.
Something we're both, I'm sure, very used to.
Okay. Well then, I mean, are you... Throughout the night, you would hear the storm pick up and begin to subside. You all are going to be there for a good 5 or so hours, so... Are you all just going to sleep? What are we... How is this going exactly?
I feel like Isis would kind of use this time, like as we're winding down, I guess, to get rest, to like try to learn more about Aeson and just like where he came from. Like, do you have family back there that you're trying to get back to? And you said, oh, you had a teacher that taught you all about your rules. Like, what's it like where you're from?
So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like they would have some sort of,
Yeah.
conversation. And I feel like while this was going on, like Aeson would be practicing his sword swings,
Sure.
because you can't just, waste this kind of time. So he's like, while he's like practicing his swings, like, I had a great teacher, who taught me, like all the rules that, that you need to follow. And then he'll just be like 5, and he'll like stretch, a little bit. And then like he'll take up a different swing position, right? To like start on his next set. And he'll tell her, about his family, and that he has a little sister, and for all he knows, like life in Underwing is normal, just like everywhere else, like everyone just feels like a little like weak, and he'll be like 5, and he'll stretch again, right?
What's Asen's sister name?
Yeah. What's her name?
Ooh, let's give her a name.
Yeah, don't just say some shit. I'm gonna ask you questions.
I'm gonna write it down, so I got my pen ready.
Right?
Bianca.
No, that's such an awful name.
Sorry,
note,
sorry
Dragon
for
Age.
all you Biancas out there.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. Oh god.
Make sure to leave a comment as to why Bianca is the best name.
You should come up with rule number 5 as to why Bianca sucks as a name.
Okay. God.
Trish.
After having Bianca's, I was like, okay, sure.
Her name's Bianca or Trish.
I don't want to insult Trish after I just insulted Bianca. So.
Okay, wait, no. We can think of a good name. I'm not.
I feel like
I'm not
like
cutting
I
none
feel
of this
like
out.
God. I feel like, right, like Asen's sister would still have to be like really strong-minded, still very tough, just because of the environment.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
And then the question is like, would I have had those parents that like named their kids starting with the same letter type of thing?
I was like, would she have had an A as her first letter?
Like an Adrian or something?
Yeah. Like Amy, like
Aslan.
Aslan is cool.
Ooh, I like that one.
Aslan or Avalon are good, yeah.
Avalon, that's also cool.
Okay. All right, we'll go with Avalon. I like that. We'll go with that one.
All right.
Is that Azlin?
AV.
I should write that down. We're gonna have this conversation.
Lynn. There you go. I'm trying to make it look as cool as Asen's name.
Ablynn.
Yeah, Avalon.
Nice.
All right. So anyway, now that I've interrupted too much, please keep going.
Avalon.
So he's gonna be really proud of like his younger sister. Again, all the stretches take up a different, movement, and he's gonna be like, she's tough as nails. Like, she's probably running their whole sector of town by now. And he's gonna have the conversation of, we traded a bunch of stubs, and that it was hot. I'm trying to think of like what else he would say about Underwing. Just, I don't know. Would we have like Cinderlace like breathing fire and stuff in the area?
So
I mean, that's kind of
to talk about Underwing.
Yeah.
You would hear that like generally Underwing has the issue of being too close to Cinderlace. He perches on the mountainside. I mean, he is the mountainside basically above there. And anytime you get too close, his aura itself creates this like extra like air of like madness, this this little bit of and I don't, when I say madness, I don't mean like crazy. I mean like everybody is generally a hothead. There is it creates more violence the closer you are to him. Everything is, you have a shorter temper just being near the dragon itself. The heat of everything, it kind of boils your blood even a little bit. Like the temperature itself there's like this very dry heat that it is next to it. It's almost like no matter where you are, you're being near a forge that is being used currently next to you. When you're sleeping, I mean, the basic air itself is hotter than not. You could crack an egg on the sidewalk and cook it no matter where you're at all times of day and night. This is just how hot it is there constantly. The entire existence being there. There are some people that specifically deal in just selling water at this place because water tends to evaporate if it's not kept properly in Underwing.
So anyway, when we were kids, we had challenges to see how quickly, how close you could get before you have to run back. It was good times.
Yeah, because there are.
It's gonna remember this with great fondness.
There are there are these staircases and these ramps that lead up into the mountainside near where Cinderlace would be, and generally only Dragonborn or people that have protected themselves from the heat are able to go up into this area. So Asen saying as kids they had these like challenges to see who could run fast enough and who could go far enough. And honestly, Asen probably has scars from this because it would have left burns on their skin permanently.
All part of the luck. All part of challenge.
I mean, Isis would definitely nod and acknowledge that and say, like, our stories seem very similar from where I come from, me and my clan. There's just constant war between demons and devils trying to take over this particular section of hell. So Death himself used us as basically his foot soldiers whenever he needed something done, and he's been gone now for so long that I want to give my family that chance to escape and have somewhere else to live. I lost one child in the war, and I have two more that I want to bring somewhere to give them that chance to have that life where we're not constantly fighting and having to die over meaningless things. So, like, I really understand where you're coming from, and I really empathize with that. It's hard living that kind of life.
Asen will nod. You went way above his head.
She's dry in here.
I would.
And he's gonna be like, hard, yes, very hard.
Well, I also would like to point out though that this is Asen hearing that Death itself chose Isis as a foot soldier.
Oh.
That was what our specific clan, the Holdra Cats, were there for. We were there to basically do Death's bidding whenever he requested things of us.
So you are chosen.
In a way, yes. I was the only one from my family that was able to use enough magic to get out to come get this contract to come here. I don't know if I'll be able to make it back.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, he would give you like the whole arm thing.
Yeah.
And he would give you the whole I need another rule.
Need another rule?
Something, let's see. Rule number 5, right? Only the greatest among us are chosen by death.
That. Wow.
There's so many directions to think about that, and it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Really, she's like the comment that he made, like all of this went over her head, and she's just like, that was so deep.
It's so much deeper than he means for it to be.
Wow.
And right here, we're gonna take a break, and we're back. I'm gonna say that the morning comes. You, Isis and Asen, you hunker down at the the little hunting lodge area in the woods. Mayrin and Sol, you guys spent the night, the rain, with these Minotaurs that are now a hustle. Like the morning has come. You guys have eaten. The rain subsided, and I would say that before anything can even begin happening with you two, all the Minotaurs are just lobbing away at stones and cleaning different things. This is an excavation crew led by researcher Grant and Professor Hamlin.
She's gonna like nudge Soul. What do you think they're looking for?
I don't know, but whatever it is, might be interesting.
Let's see how good Professor Hamlin's ears are. Well, with a natural 3, he didn't hear you.
Aw. That's okay. Mayrin, as we've learned, is not shy. She's going to speak up. Grant, Professor buddy. What is this place?
My name is Hamlin. Yes.
Professor buddy.
We are Professor Hamlin. This is Malachite's Abbey. It's a very ancient place. It was from the previous time, back when I think that maybe you would have heard stories of when the gods and goddesses. This is specifically a place of worship for the god Malachite when he was still around. And there we like to find old relics or just stories or anything. If you look along the black walls that you were near, the inside of them have ruins and stories and things written all over them. Although I would say that some of them have been defaced by some children. I can tell. If you look down towards the base of the wall, you can definitely see that there was no such thing as some of these sprites that were licking people's eyeballs and stuff. That's not what's happening. And there was definitely no honey badgers here. But anyway, yes. So we are excavating some of the things. There's a large tower, and he points, and you can still see one of the towers intact. And we are hoping to go down further into that, but there's been some problems. But my our benefactor, Armal, our benefactor, he's currently dealing with it. Him and his warriors, they're going to clear that out, and it'll be okay.
Armal?
Yes. Armal Yeth, I think he likes to be called. I don't say his whole name. He does not need it. It's not a title. So.
She's gonna like look at Soul and then look at Grant and then look back to him.
You're looking at Hamlin.
Looking back at Hamlin. And she's no, I'm saying she's looking towards Grant like, is this guy like serious?
Okay, Grant is currently like directing things, so he's not looking at you. But you could see him like from where you're standing. He's at like the lip of this like area being where this big dig is happening. Um, and I'll get to him in a second because he's about to scream at you, so don't worry about it.
Oh no. How does a group of strong minotaurs such as yourselves end up employed to do this? She almost called him a herd.
I know. Hamlin looks and goes, "What do you mean? This is our the benefactor. He's paying for all of it. He's helping me do all this. But this is a great thing. I'm learning, and these are my workers. And Grant loves this shit. And you'd hear a and like you'd see like this explosion happen as Grant turns around and goes, "It's the best, let me tell you." And like he looks back at you guys and goes, "Hopefully, if we can burrow underneath to wherever they're coming from, we can kill all the rats." And he goes back, and he just turns back around to look down into the hole.
Soul has basically been not sitting, but starry-eyed, listening to the story of what this place was, because it's the first he's heard of anything like this. So,
roll me a. If you give me a knowledge roll to like look around, I'll explain what you see.
Awesome. Let's see what we do. Oh, I'm so good at knowledge.
It's not a very high roll, let me tell you. It's just going to give you extra details depending on how high it is.
Well, before the modifier, it's a 21 on hope, but then it becomes a 20 on hope.
Okay. Fantastic. A 20 on... Aww. I just caught that.
Yeah.
Malachite's Abbey. This is the ruins of an abbey. Think of like this is like a base of holy worship. It's too extensive to be described and complete by what you see on your approach. You are currently in the like kind of ancient ruins of what used to be the town on the outskirts of the abbey within the walls. The walls you passed are these giant, large black walls that have tons of siege damage to them. You can see that now that you're looking around because there are boulders, there are other housing or like buildings that have like trees put through them that have now taken root and regrown through. This is a very old place, but you can definitely tell that the reason this place doesn't exist anymore is because at one point there was a large siege here. This is a place that definitely was taken by war. But on a 20, you also notice that there are sections of walls that are partially have like these inlay of metal, and the metal has been melted down, and there are still rocks that have singe marks into them. So you would imagine that at one point dragon fire was used to take this place. This is the black walls that you were near are 40 feet tall at the youngest area, and at the oldest area of them stand even taller and arch slightly and have these giant walkways that look like in some places they've been bored down, or like over time they've been taken over by plants and other like growth. Beyond the village is this large ruined keep that you can see, just like the archway to that you'd imagine that like there's basically just like a large ruined like castle up in the distance. That lead up alongside of this it's not a mountain, but this is a larger part of the hill, if you get what I mean. Like this is a steep incline that would lead up into mountains if you were to go further. But these aren't mountains like that you would imagine. These are just like large hillsides. But yeah, this is kind of what you're seeing. Like looking around though, you would get an idea that like some of these buildings that are left around, they really have like sustained time. Like this is some of even the stone itself could tell stories. Like you're looking at like how the plants grew around it. You're looking at where these trees like retook root. you're looking at some of the inside of some of the buildings. You can see like ancient clockwork devices, ancient like devices that were like at one point definitely powered by magic that is no longer prevalent to this world. This is definitely here from before the age that you're in now. This is from when the gods walked among you.
Okay. I think looking around and seeing all of that, he'll see everything that you've noticed, and then his eyes will go back to the pieces of wall that are still singed, that were clearly affected by dragonfire, and just point it out to the professor and ask for confirmation. Like, this here looks like dragonfire would have taken it and would have been used in it. Is that something that I'd be correct in assuming here, or is there something else that would play?
Yes. This story goes that this Malachite was one of the lesser gods that held out longest in the olden times before many of the dragon kin and the outer gods came to remove him from his existence. But this would have been where he last was. So we're hoping to find something great here to maybe some source of magic or some wonderful text that hasn't been earthed or seen in some time, and to get down into the lower parts of the keep, we need to go through the tower, and the tower is currently being inhabited by just ghoulish things that they need to be removed. Once they're removed, we'll be able to go further. It'll be wonderful.
Wonderful that you'd be able to move forward and see more.
Yes. If you would like to help, or if you are interested, if you go meet with Armal, he would. I'm positive that Armal would love some assistance. You look like you are very capable. And he looks at Mayrin. You look like you are our very capable group of adventurers. I would never want to put you in danger, ma'am, but I would not like you to think less of me for not including you. Soul, it was a pleasure talking with you.
You as well, Professor. GM, does the metal does it seem like it held up decently well to the dragonfire, or did it crumble as well when that hit?
Some of the inlay metal is melted, but it looks like it definitely held up over time.
Okay.
So if you were to take some of the metal and fashion something, you could imagine it would probably withstand a good amount of heat before it did anything.
Okay. I'll just turn to the professor one last time and ask, is it possible I could take a sample of the metal from the wall? Just...
Hey, Grant, fuck Grant. Here. And he, like, looks around, and he gestures to one of the other Minotaur, and they give you, like, a pickaxe and some, duster. And they're like, you could take what you'd like from that building. As long as you're not inside of our work area, anything you take from the buildings are yours. Go ahead. We've learned the stories of these buildings already.
I appreciate that. I can't speak to whether or not we'll be able to help you, as there are two others of our group that we were separated from, but...
Oh, how? I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that you find them soon. I'd love to flip back to them now, in that moment.
Go ahead.
Fantastic. Asen and Isis, you both are sleeping soundly, I think. And you would just hear, No, there are people in here. I'm telling you, I could see them. And then you hear, what do you mean you can see them? And he's like, I mean, it looks like two lovers made their camp here for the night.
Oh my god.
And then there's just a this is a bulky minotaur, not like the other minotaurs. You saw large, like tall minotaurs. This is a minotaur with a large axe, full armor, like looking down at you guys. This is like think of like a Texan steer, like when I say minotaur, this is what you normally think of. This is like the minotaur from the maze type of thing. The labyrinth.
So are we like that? Like, is he inside of the hut with us? Because I feel like
he has the door open and he's just looking down at you guys.
Sleeping. I feel like that would wake us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Okay.
I feel like definitely being startled awake, she would like instinctively go to like cast some type of like magic, but like pause just a minute and be like, pause. Yeah. Just a minute. Be like, oh, I'm so sorry. My friend and I, is this your
No, not. Sorry to interrupt. We come and open the door so any of the animals that get caught in here in the storm. We also saw your horses outside, and sometimes animals will get caught in here, and we open the door and let them out because we walk past here every day on guard duty anyway. So we like to let the animals out of the hut because sometimes the door gets shut or stuck. And today we saw new animals, and we thought people might be around, and here you all are. We're so sorry to interrupt. It's happy honeymoon. And he starts to close the door.
She would look to Asen and then look back and be like, oh no, it's not like that.
No,
it's not like that.
It's okay if it is.
No, it's not like that.
I feel like so Asen would definitely 100% sleep with his axe, and so when the door opened, he probably would just like jumped up, ready to attack. And then like seeing the Minotaur was like wanting to talk, it would just kind of be like, this doesn't look as exciting. And then so he no longer cares. It's like, you guys are together.
A thinner still like this dude, this Minotaur still looks like he could fight, but he looks more like a what would you call them? Like an antelope more than a steer, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And he'd like stick his head in and like kind of like move the guy, and he'd be like, Snout, get out of my way. Come on, Snout. Hello. And he looks at both of you like he's trying to like catch you doing something, and he'd realize he's not. And then he'd be like, and he'd be like, damn it, dung snout. And he hit the bigger Minotaur on the back of the head. And he'd be like, I'm so sorry for my friend. He interrupts things and thought he said it was something else. And I was really hoping for a show. But anyway, are you all just passing through, or are you staying here for some time? I can make sure we don't bother you on our patrol. We do this every morning.
So Asen, all right, me. I put on great shows. It's gonna like flex. Well known. And we lost Sticky and Veggie, and we're looking for him.
Sticky and Veggie. Okay.
What my friend here is trying to say is 2 of our other party members got lost in the storm. We took shelter here
Oh,
until it blew over. Have you happened to see a little she would describe so a little frog, and then also this majestic deer?
That's what I said. We're looking for Sticky and Veggie.
And you have been so helpful, Asen, but I don't think they know our friends' nicknames.
our boss, Armal, has caught a pony running through our camp yesterday night. Would you like to talk to him?
That would be wonderful. Yes.
But we're not looking for a pony.
Well, Soul was riding a pony. Remember?
Wait for it.
You remember?
Anyway, my name is Maul Ripper. It's nice to meet you. And he put his hand out, and he has just scars all up and down his arm. And
oh yeah, no, that's exciting.
His arm looks like his arm looks like he has been bitten hundreds of times by different animals.
Oh,
and he just puts his hand out to shake.
Ace definitely gonna shake his hand and be like, "You've got stories, my friend."
Yeah, so many. Right now, our story is we're killing giant, evil abominations of rats. Did you like? I could show you some. It's so good. And he pulls out this giant, like, fucking disformed, like, rat skull. And it's the size of, like, his face. And it's missing its mouth. And he goes, I got this one a couple days ago.
Yes. Let's go do that.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. If that leads us in the direction of our friends, we'll also go kill rats.
Same.
Okay.
Same direction. Dung Snout, who's the other warrior, the other guy, he kind of like sits there and he goes, "Fucking Maul Ripper, I will take you to our boss, Armal. I'm sure that he has seen your friends if he has their pony, but their horse. I don't know why I'm calling it a pony. It is if you leave the animals here, they will be safe. We patrol this area and make sure that nothing comes by. But would you like to leave them some feed? I have some feed with me."
Yes.
And he pulls a giant bag out and he goes, "This is what I was feeding to our oxen. I think they eat the same thing. I'm not really sure." And he puts down the it's horse feed. He puts down the horse feed in front of the horses and gives them some water.
Asen would definitely look at his horse and be like, "You should stay. You stay." Like
as Asen's walking away, you see the horse pull its thing up and go do that to him.
Oh my God.
Full on.
Right? Again, Asen's scarier than lightning.
Oh.
I'll give the cartoon moment to happen. Why not? You guys are brought up past the camp that Mayrin and Sol are in. They walk you around the backside to where this tall tower is, and there is a think like a lavishly made hut. This is like if you were to go to like a Middle Eastern like place where there's like pillows and all the different like cloths and like they put down all of the carpets and stuff like that. And as they push into this wonderful beautiful thing, there's a chest of ice off to the left. It has like different bottles of like wines stuck in it, and in front of you is I'm gonna say large as in portly. There is a fat portly water buffalo with all of the like hanging hair. They're like they're all like delicately like put, there's beads on all of his like thing, his hair, and like the big jowls that like the water buffalo could have. His horns are like coming out of like this massive like crown of different hair and like thorns and stuff. And he has this large gnarled staff that comes to the end, and at the very top of the staff is this huge purple gem. And immediately Isis, or not Isis, Isis. Immediately Isis, you would feel magic. This purple gem has a lot of magic to it, which is incredibly rare.
Yeah.
This is immediately something you feel. Asen, you would see this thing that I don't know if you would understand that it feels like magic, but to you, it would feel like electricity slowly coursing through your body. You would start to get hyped over like this would get you like ready to go type of thing, because you would immediately feel like energized just being close to him. And he like looks up from this giant pool of thick, dark liquid that he has in this big chalice in front of him. And he goes, neither one of you are in my employ. Can I, Maul Ripper, why? And Maul Ripper kind of looks over and goes, you found their pony and they're looking for their friends and shit. Me and this guy, though, he's going to help me kill a bunch of the rats. Look, he's got this big axe. This is going to be fun.
Yes. We've come to kill rats.
And this bison of a Minotaur stands up, and he is a lot shorter than he should be. Like, this is like Napoleon the Minotaur.
Oh.
And he kind of like, and he's portly, and he kind of like walks up a little bit, and he's got like the big staff. The staff is taller than him. And he kind of like looks at you guys. He might be able to look up to your neck, eye lengthwise, but he like kind of looks up and he goes, well, I mean, both of you look like you might be able to do well. The pony is gone. I'm so sorry. It got away from us.
I feel like Asen wouldn't call it a pony just because I feel like it'd be so small, like
in the night.
It's like people are like saying ponies, like
yeah, the little horse, Sebastian. It got away from us in the night.
Oh no.
And so it's gone. But I have heard that your friend you two you said they're looking for something. Yeah, I don't know what else. If you are looking for a job though and want to kill some of these rats, I would love to employ you. The quicker we can get rid of them, the quicker I can get rid of all of the other the other Minotaur help around here, and we can continue on with our ritual.
Ritual, you say?
Yes. You are marked of the hells. I can tell.
Oh yeah? How's that?
How's that? Yes, of course. And he would like give you a little bit of a bow and say my name is Armal Yeth. I am his voice. I am the great Yayasi's tongue in cheek, if you will. Yon Yasi is what's the best way of explaining this? He's not a god, but he's somebody that's worshipped. So like you would have an idea this guy's a warlock type of thing. Like, okay. But Yasi is like Yon Yasi is he's like the Minotaur god, but he's not a god, if you get what I mean. Like, and he's known as he's known to be like pretty brutal when it comes to things like blood rituals, like like sacrificing things to him to get like little tiny ounces of power are like a big thing.
Okay.
And he's somebody that like when he sees you, he's like one of the beings that could like help make a pact with you and give you something. Like think of like a Djinn, where it's like, oh man, I said that wrong and now I can't see anymore, but I definitely have all the books I ever wanted, type of shit. Like but so whoever this guy is saying, he's worshiping the great cow deity in his mind. And
Okay.
but if he has power from him, he's definitely worded his contract properly, if you get what I mean. So that would tell you that he is cunning, at least. Like there is some level of intelligence to what he's saying, because he would have gotten one over on this deal maker.
But as someone who's like used to making pacts with like, I guess, other like magical beings, I guess my question is like,
this would be
like he can sense me as like someone from the hells. Would I be considered like threatening to him, like almost like on another level?
This would be maybe more like one of those things where like, game sees game, or like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, you know what I'm here for. Like he would feel like he could talk to you plainly.
Okay.
Instead of having to like hide what he's doing, because for him, you're one of the beings of hells. He's working with one of the other beings from hell. This is just a happy passing. So
Gotcha.
It's one of those things where like if you ask him questions, he might answer you
more truthfully
than he would somebody else.
Okay. Because I was just asking because I was like, would I have to like kind of like throw my weight a little bit, be like, yes, I am one of those people. Like
you could do whatever you want and see what happens. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
But I feel like, yeah, she would definitely want more clarification on like what the ritual they're doing is for.
Great. One moment. Maul Ripper's gonna like nudge Asen and be like, "Come on, let's go. They can talk dumb shit. Let's go kill stuff."
Yeah, it's been days since I've killed anything.
That's too long, my friend.
Yeah.
Don't wander too far. We gotta still find the others.
It's not wandering, it's pointed killing. Maul Ripper turns around and just like walks out. And you would notice Maul Ripper has no weapons on him. He's like shaking his arms off, getting ready to like walk into whatever we're doing. But he would take you straight to the large tower.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in order now. Mayrin and Sol, you two, are back talking with them about this whole thing, and they're talking about this tower that there's a bunch of stuff in, and they really need to, but they tell you that if you were to go up to see Armal, that might be the best thing to do. And then Grant has an explosion, and he says, "Oh, if we're definitely trying to get down here. If we can get underneath the tower, we could maybe blow up all the rats and not have to worry about having to kill them inside the tower." Just recapping for you real fast. And then Grant will stop and turn and go, "Hey, don't go talking to Armal. There's something wrong with that guy. I'm telling you. You all should stay clear of him. He's kind of weird. I don't care if he's paying, the doc or whatever he's doing. I feel like the more you get worked up, the more he gets people worked up, the more I stop seeing someone. We used to have 30 workers, and now I'm positive we're down to 24.
Concerning.
And then Grant, not Grant, Hamlin would say, Grant, no. Stuff just happens. I mean, people leave. They don't want to. They get tired. They want to go home and see their family. Things happen. It's okay. And Grant kind of rolls his eyes and goes, "My workers don't just leave."
Marin's gonna look at Soul.
And Soul's gonna look at Mayrin.
Can we count the workers?
I think as you say that, Soul is just gonna start counting the people he sees.
You would be able to find 20 or so of them.
Okay.
But there's definitely not 30. Unless there are a whole 10 people underground, you'd imagine that there might be 2 under there. Maybe,
but not 10.
Not 10. There's not 10. They just detonated this area. There's not 10 Minotaur in the freaking ground over there. Not that way, at least. Hopefully.
Yeah. Lovely.
We do still need to find the pony, the large dog, and find Kitten in Hot Pants.
We do indeed. If we're going to be leaving, I want some of the metal from that wall. It withstood Dragon's Fire.
She's gonna turn around. Professor Hamlin.
Yes, dear.
Not Professor Buddy this time.
Yes, Miss Mayrin.
Do you happen to know where the metal is from?
I think they use it as building materials for to set amongst the rock to keep things strong. Where it's from, I could not tell you. I just know that there's a lot of it around.
Just in the mountain, or is it like
no in the buildings? It's a lot of the foundations are built around them. And if you get up towards the keep, there are large portcullises and stuff built of this metal as well.
Probably. She kind of looks thoughtful. Is there like some chunks we can pick up without having to try to tear down the wall ourselves?
Currently, no. You would have to excavate some of it.
And while you're talking to Professor Hamlin, Soul will take the pickaxe he was handed and just head to the nearest wall that doesn't look like it's about to immediately collapse.
Yeah, no, none of them look like they're gonna fall apart easily. I'll say that. The ones that are standing, they're standing.
And with that, I'll just turn, give a nod to Professor Hamlin, and I'm going to try and chip some of this out. He gave me the tools to do it.
Yeah. It would take you some time, but you'd be able to get some of it. This is like, when I say some time, though, this is like a couple hours worth of work if you want to get enough of it to do anything with.
I think at this moment, Soul isn't worried about the time investment as much as like seeing how strong this metal really is and what it can do. So there's no concern there in my mind, at least.
Are you gonna wait for Soul, or what are you doing, Mayrin?
Well, shit. I really should go look for the pony. Actually, can I like go in further into that abbey to go towards the pallet things? What's the word you said?
Portcullis?
Nope.
Portcullis. That's not even a pallet thing. Yes, to go find one of those and see if like
yeah, you could go.
There's an easier way to break something.
So walking up towards where you're trying to go, you would pass by the tent that Isis is in. You'd also have to go past the big tower. So if you are going to go up that way, that's the direction you're going either way.
Okay.
So, if you were to leave Soul with his own devices, it would take him about like 1 or 2 hours to get enough of this metal apart. And eventually, I think another one of the Minotaurs would walk over and be like, "Let me give you some help," and kind of like knock some of the rocks out for you. But that we could get back to you if that's what you want to do. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, great. If you want to add to your sheet, just a note that you have, just add that you have some of the Abbey's metal with you, and I'll give you a more of a bigger rundown of all that soon.
Cool. I'm gonna find that and find a place to put that on the sheet real quick.
Okay. I would like to skip to Aeson real fast, and then Isis will get to you because I think that now that's going to be a converging point. Aeson, Maul Ripper and you are walking up to, and he kind of like looks and goes, I mean, we went in the front door yesterday. If you want, though, there's a side door down there. I think it would be fun to kind of kick that in and just see what's down there. Or you could go in the front, I'll go in the side, and we can meet wherever we meet up. I don't know. I just think it'd be fun to. There's things in there that need to die, though.
I'll let you lead. Choose the best path.
Fantastic. Maul Ripper goes down, and there's like this little side door. It looks like it would be like an archer's entrance or like a side entrance to like this tall tower. And the door itself is like this hard cast metal that looks like it has been beaten to the point where like it's almost like stuck in the doorway. And Maul Ripper like puts his hand up on like one of the little like edges that's kind of like pulled out, and he puts his other arm and he just peels the door back slowly, and it just bends as he goes. And then eventually he gets it on the hinges and just rips the thing off the hinges. And he goes, this would have been fun. And he just throws it aside. The amount of strength this just took is an incredible amount of strength. Even like you would see it and be like, oh, he looks skinnier than these other guys. But as he's doing it and you see his muscles like flex, he's just stringy. That's all it is. Like he's good, but he's like all tensed up muscle at this point when he does this.
I guess Aeson would probably comment, stronger than I thought. This will be fun.
yeah, great. Let's go. And as he like shakes his head off a little bit, you get the idea that there's something like he's definitely got the look of like this antelope and this stuff, but the way he's speaking, the way he handles himself, it would remind you of some of other creatures. Like this is not. There's something off about him. Is my point. And then he'd push into the darkness, this room that you all are in, and you can hear like things going on far off, like into this area, like this chamber. But you guys are in this like side. It might have been like a prep room or like a guard's room. It's very small. You both barely fit in this one area. And there's two doors, one that goes one forward and then one to the side, but there's no doors in the doorway is what I'm saying. And the one goes straight down these like set of stairs. And he goes, "Ooh, hey, I've never seen the stairs before." And he goes, "Oh, do you need light to see?"
I guess since we established that apparently Aeson, did we establish that? Like, because we said demons kind of see in the light, or because it was raining? I mean, that was a question.
I think
figure that out.
You don't have dark vision, as well as good as you'd like to, but you have some. Like you're used to low light areas, but this is not a situation where you can see 60 feet ahead of you in the darkness. This is a situation where like. You're used to things being dark and used to having to like work through soot and smoke that like you just have better senses. and I think
Right,
Asen
but
would
this
think
is
that
like
he could
dark
see in the
dark.
dark because of it, but not like this is not like you cannot see perfectly in the dark. No.
Correct. A little light would be helpful.
Nah. Okay. Oh yes. Okay. And he like goes through like his little pack and pulls out. It's like a little like lantern, and he like hits it a bunch of times on the side, and then it like sparks up. And he's like, okay. I hold the lantern until we see something, and then I put it down, and we kill it.
Sounds reasonable.
Fantastic. And you guys start to walk down the stairs, and I need an agility roll from you, please.
Bet. I would also actually be like, hey, let's keep one of these things for the because you said the pony died, right?
Yeah. Wait, died?
I
No,
don't
it
know.
got
You
away.
said- Oh, okay. Quick question is, well, I was trying to figure out if this was considered like navigating a harsh environment.
No.
For
This will be to not fall through the floor.
Oh, okay. I got a 9 on fear.
Fantastic. So you guys are walking down these stairs, and most of them feel like stone, and then you start to hit this like this wooden part, and you can hear like the, and as you kind of get to the third or fourth stair, you just and it cracks, and both of you like you see the lantern kind of go up, and Maul Ripper kind of like looks at you and goes, "We should have gone the other way," and like and you both just hit like just fall through the darkness for a while. And I need I'm gonna okay, so first off you're gonna take 1 stress.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna roll some dice. So initially, as you're falling, you slam into what feels like this giant metal bar. You will take 12 damage.
Okay. So I guess I'll use armor for one of them. Okay.
And then hitting the ground, you'll take 22.
What in the world?
As you fall a number of stories down.
Oh God.
Gravity, son.
Whoo.
Okay. 22. Okay, that means I need to take another 3 armor slots to reduce it again. God knows. Can we not have some agility rolls in this? Like,
I mean, you rolled a 9 on fear.
I did roll that. Yeah.
And
I feel like he was in the middle of like talking, and then suddenly.
Yeah, I feel like you both were in the middle of talking and then just literally walked through a hole. Like just. You would hit the ground, and I think it would knock you out for just a moment. Not like it, like kind of like when a boxer gets hit and they see the stars for a second.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things, and we'll come back to you in just one moment. As Isis, you just asked about the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
And they are walking out at the same time as he waits, and they go, and he goes, "Oh yes, I am. I mean, to speak properly between two scions of our kind.
Indeed.
Yes. So this is a great place. The ley lines really work here. You can hear, and he like moves his staff around, and you can see the magic kind of like pour out of it almost. It's pretty ridiculous, honestly. Like this is a lot of magic for something for him to have. Like this would be a lot of magic for you to have.
Right. Because I was going to be like, did he get that from his patron? Or like, did he find that somewhere else?
And he would say like, So Yon Yossi has told me that if a great sacrifice of blood, and I can make that into a crown shard, and if I can take the crown shard, I can do something truly great with it, and he said that he would give me a great boon if I am able to use that. I would, if with some assistance, I would happily share some of that with you. We could split it. I will, because I mean, killing all of the Minotaur down there is going to take a lot, but I feel like they will just blindly walk into anything I tell them to go into. So, but with their blood, we could make a truly wonderful relic. It would be beautiful.
As someone who is used to being on that end of the stick, doing all of the grunt work,
No, I would never want this to be grunt work. This would be a union of two wonderful scions of the hells. I know that you're kind. I tried to speak to you all once, but nobody answered. Death has been so far out of my illusion. But Yanyasi has told me that with just a little bit more blood, I can do so much more. And he kind of is like he's getting excited. Like you can see him getting worked up. Like he's starting to sweat.
And how certain are you of this outcome? It always seems like it's just a little bit more blood. Just a little bit more blood forever.
Yeah. No, forever. I think we can do this. This is a lot, and this spot is great. And I mean, if they find what they're looking for down there, then we could use that too and wrap it all up into one great offering. And I'm sure that I don't know what you're doing here, but I'm sure whatever you're doing on this plane, magic is something that you're working
familiar
without.
with.
You're familiar with it, but you're working without it. And I know that this is something that could help.
She don't trust this man from nothing.
She's sacrificing the Minotaurs.
Yeah.
And I like the part where you like blindly follow, and I'm thinking like Asen just totally walked straight in.
Yeah.
Like,
I was about to make that joke, but I held my tongue.
There's like
the
blood and
blind
killing.
leading the blind.
Just totally forgot about all the other party members. Like, let's go.
Go kill rats. She would just kind of sit there and think about it, mull it over, and it seems. No, go ahead.
Please take your time. I have He looks over, and you can see around the top of his tent there is like ruins being etched by magical means, almost like scribes, inscripting runes around the edges of this thing, and they're like it's being slow. And he looks at it and goes, I have another night or so before it has to go. This is so hard to find magical means to do anything. And he like moves his staff a little bit, and you get the idea that now the magic pouring out of his staff is like him whipping the scribes along. This is like he's like pushing magic out to like, and you would see these little scribes that he's talking to are these pixies that are being held by strings, magical strings to his thing. He's like forcing them to inscribe the edges of this thing. And I think
since we are speaking so candidly to each other, please, what is the item that they are supposed to be looking for? So I can have as much information as well.
Oh, you'd have to ask Grant or Hamlin that. They think that there's some wonderful story about some old god here or something. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of magical stuff here. It feels like there's a lot of good magic still here. But I mean, I just need them to excavate whatever they can, and any sort of artifact they find here might be wonderful to throw in along with it. But really, I just needed all of their bodies, and I needed to keep them busy while I did the ritual.
I feel like, just, speaking on the same level here. Let's be candid with each other.
Yes, you said that.
I feel like you might be in a little bit over your head. I feel like you don't know the kind of magic that you're clearly working with here. As you said, magic is very hard to find in this world.
It is.
So
yes.
I feel like there's going to be lots of consequences for what it is that you're trying to do that you maybe haven't quite thought through.
He puts his head up a little bit and says, I am a scion of my masters, and
yes,
if
said
he
that.
desires for me to end my time here, then all he has to do is ask. There doesn't have to be consequences. He understands this as much as I do.
Right. See, that's the thing. Anytime choices are made, there do tend to be consequences. As one who had to use magic to get here. So you may not see it now, but whatever it is you're trying to do, something will happen later.
There's a sneer and a squint to him. And then now there's a smirk that runs across his kind of dopey face. And he kind of looks at you and he says, My Holdercat, are you stuck here?
That is none of your business.
It might not be my business, but it is something that I could fix for you. And he turns and he taps the water, the liquid at least.
Mm-hmm.
That as he hits it, you would notice that it is blood mixed with some other viscous liquid. And as he taps it, it ripples. And he goes, I could give you audience with my patron who is from your plane. If you need to get home, the magic that you require to do so is just within our grasp.
See, that's the thing. I don't really consider that place to be home anymore. So that doesn't really seem of much consequence to me.
I need you to roll presence on that.
It is apparently, like you said, critter day. I have rolled another crit with 2 6s.
Nice.
He sneers a little bit at the thought of you saying that the hells aren't home to you. But he nods. I have to get back to work, but the deal is open, and I hope that you will afford me the room I need to work, and I will not bother you with anything else. But you were brought to me for a reason. I'm assuming not to kill rats. Is there something I can help you with?
She would, again mention that she is looking for 2 of her party members.
Ah, yes. If anybody was found around here or had to take refuge around here from the storm, down in the camps, that's where they would be, and they would have been safe there. So I'm sure if you ask Grant or Hamlin or any of the other Minotaur workers, they will point out if your friends are there. If not, please allow me to send out a party, and we can find them if they're in the area.
She would thank him and say she was going to head that way to look for her friends, but she would again really try to re-emphasize to him, like, you know how these kinds of bargains are made. You know that it has to be specifically worded in just the right way. I'm urging caution.
Thank you for your care. He would smile.
It's not really, well, I mean, I guess maybe a little bit of care, but it's mostly so you don't mess any larger stuff up that I'm trying to do.
Understood. We will stay out of each other's way.
And
And
she
then,
would make her way to go find everyone else.
as you are walking out the door, he would yell back, "It's a deal."
She would just keep walking.
Yep. As you're walking out, you are standing in front of Mayrin, who is walking towards the tall tower.
She's shaking her head disapprovingly.
There is some shady shit going on in there. And she would lean into, like, so that way he wouldn't hear her, like, I think we need to do something about this.
Where's Hot Pants? Point him in that direction.
Hot Pants decided to disappear with Maul Ripper and Dung Snout and go fight a bunch of rat. I told him not to go far, but he heard the opportunity to fight something, and you know how that goes.
They could have fought in the mud somewhere.
You know how he is.
Oh.
We should find Hot Pants. Also, she's gonna like gesture at this place. There's metal inlaid inside these walls that can hold up to dragon fire.
Excellent. We need that. We definitely need that.
However, Professor Buddy doesn't know where it's mined from.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
we could just tear the place down.
In all honesty, we could get rid of Weirdo in the tent. We could save all the other Minotaur, and then we could get the steel that we need. I feel like this is a win-win-win. 3-win.
Also, head of the excavation. That's it. Excavation group. This is all in here. Grant. Fuck Grant.
Is his name Fuck Grant?
No, it is Grant. He's a researcher. Quotations. Likes explosions.
Cool.
He says some of his guys have went missing since they joined with this guy.
Weirdo in the tent.
So
he thinks he's really smart, making a deal with another being from the Hells, trying to do some weird blood sacrifice for like a crown shard thing. I told him that was going to end up really badly anyways, but they don't listen. They think they know what's best.
They never do until they wander around town with no power to their name anymore.
Right. I think we're going to have to teach that guy a lesson, get Aeson back, get the steel, and save the Minotaur.
We should find Aeson first.
The order's flexible.
Not in that order, yeah.
The order's flexible.
Soul is that way. He's in good hands. Non-psycho Minotaurs.
Good. Great.
This moment, Soul's just having a match break.
Well,
Right?
flipping to Soul, if I could.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Soul, you are being helped by another Minotaur. Let's call him Maurice. And his name, he goes by Mumu. And so Mumu, the Minotaur, is helping you knock out some of this metal. You've got a pretty good, gnarly chunk of it. And he looks at you and goes, I think you'll need a box to put all this in, and we can load it into. I don't know how you got here. But I can give you a chest to put it in if you'd like. No problem.
That would be very helpful. My friends, when we find them, they have a cart that I can load it into the back of.
Oh, yes, great. Oh, perfect. Yes, that's good. I don't think we could spare carts right now or oxen, but I definitely can spare a chest. I will give you one of mine. Hold on. And he like walks over to like where his stuff is, and he kind of opens up one of his chests and like takes a bunch of clothes and stuff out of it and puts it in, like he like stuffs it all in another chest, and then like comes back with this box that is a little bit bigger than you probably. And he like sets it down, and as he's doing that, you just hear like screaming and like like a couple roars of like different things. You hear some of the oxen like roar and like move like running away, and you can hear fighting. And he goes, "Oh God, no! Hold on, I gotta go. I gotta run up to the top and see if I can't get Maul Ripper or one of them to come down here and help."
As he's saying that, Soul is actually just going to run towards the sound and try and figure out what's going on.
Where the explosion was, if you're looking down, and there is a large, there are these rats are like if they were the size of horses. So
good.
There are like two or three of these like horse-sized rats attacking some of the workers, and they're using their pickaxes to like bat at them, and you can see like one of them gets bit, and like it like the rat's teeth like cleave through their arms pretty soundly. And it's like it's a pretty good fight real fast, and then Grant looks on and goes, "What a shame! Gosh, they ate some of my explosives." And he hits one of the mines, and you watch one of the rats just explode outwards, and it takes off one of his workers' arms, and he goes, "You were gonna lose that anyway, buddy. Get out the way!" And like he like moves him to the side and grabs one of the rats and like tears the top of its head off and like throws it behind him. And he goes, "Are there more? Are there more? Get all these people help! Oh my gosh, you all are ridiculous!" And he's like, and he looks at him and goes, "I said to lead with the explosives, not your arms."
I think Soul, seeing people being attacked, is just going to go full instinct, run in, pot lid metal and piece of metal in hand to try and help hold these rats back.
Yeah, as you're kind of like doing that, you're standing next to Grant, and he looks at it and goes, "Buddy, do you need a shield?"
This is all they had at Moon Soul. They don't do weapons.
Oh no! Someone come find this. I don't know what to do with this. He's like very like extra about it. And then as one of the rats jump towards you, he just kicks it into the wall and goes, "I think you need to be properly outfitted to help others."
Killed a chimera with it a couple days ago. We can work with this.
You killed a what? Why are you fighting chimera? And then as another rat jumps, he grabs it like without looking and just like slams it into the ground. And he's like talking to you very candidly, very real. Like looking, he like gets down on your level, like cuts the rat in half and like throws it to the side.
They were fighting in front of a pregnant woman's tent. I needed to help them.
I feel like this is a story you will have to tell us over dinner, my friend. There's now pregnant women involved. Was that your wife?
No.
Oh,
and Soul's just gonna
and he's gonna flick you, and the flick is gonna do 1 stress.
Okay.
And he he's gonna say, "You know what though? I forgot. You're a frog. You don't get pregnant like that." And he's gonna sit down on the ground and kind of laugh. and looking, goes, and there's gonna be one more rat running out, and he goes, "That one's yours."
All right.
And he's gonna sit there, and he's gonna put his arms down on his legs and just watch you fight the rat.
Hearing him say that one's yours, I'm just gonna hop in front of it, put the pot lid up like it's gonna wedge it in its mouth, and then try and swing over top of the shield with the piece of metal.
I'm gonna tell you up front, it has 2 HP.
All right,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna see if I can even hit this thing.
Yep, go for it.
My rolls have been wild. That is a 18 on hope.
You hit it.
All right.
Its bottom threshold is 12.
Okay. I rolled 3d8 and I add 4, so we'll see if we get there.
You got it. Let's go. Come on, one hit.
6, 7, 8, 10. Plus 4, that's 14. So
there you go. Explain how you destroy this rat with your pot lid and ladle or whatever the fuck you're fighting with.
It's like a piece of a banister for a weapon. But like I was saying, I'll step in front of it, ready to just lodge the pot lid in its mouth, and even if it breaks the lid, I'll wedge it in there as I bring the banister down onto the side of its skull and just crack it open like a nut.
Nice. Yeah, as you snap this thing in half like it's an oyster, your lid gets bitten down hard on, and Grant just kind of laughs and goes, "My friend Soul, we are going to get you some proper things to fight with. That was something. I feel like you need a hammer or some kind of giant crab claw snapper or something. Come. And he like stands up and like he goes to help you up and goes, "At least take one of our pickaxes, my lord."
I was just using one up there.
Why didn't you bring the pickaxe with you? And he just laughs and he goes, come on. And he puts you on his shoulder and starts to walk up out of the ruins with you.
I'll just talk to him from his shoulder and be like, I didn't want to break your equipment. It didn't seem like a good idea.
You're too kind. A mouse isn't going to break my equipment, let me tell you. But no, we need to get rid of all these things. I hate these motherfuckers. With that note, I would love to switch to Asen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But Soul, you may pick a proper weapon plus one or like an advanced weapon and add it to your list. Or if you would like, get a better shield. One of the two.
Okay.
He will outfit you with something a little bit better than you just had, is my point. But Asen, you come to in the darkness. You don't see the light that Maul Ripper had. You definitely don't see Maul Ripper. You do happen to see a larger hole to your right, and you have landed on what looks like an outcropping that before you would have fallen down deeper into the recesses of the ground. And there is a large cave in front of you, and there is two eyes staring at you in the darkness. They are yellow points, and they are not tall, mind you, but because you are laying on your back, they are taller than you currently.
Okay.
You would think that they are maybe 4 feet in height at best. And you would just hear, that was a pretty crazy fall right there.
Well, first off, I would definitely get up.
As you get up, you watch the eyes slowly follow you to where their head is they're following, they're looking at you, but
right.
You tower over this thing.
I still feel like he'd kind of, he just felt like he'd work through his shoulders a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, he'd look and be like, "Who are you?"
My name is Nellet. I'm one of the seekers for this Skedith. You know what the Skedith are, because they are the rat people that live far underground.
Oh.
You've heard of them at the very least. You've probably never met one, but
probably
they are. It is very rare to see them on the surface because they live very, very, very deep. But you also know that where you're going to get ore is kind of their realm.
Right.
It's like theirs in the dwarven realm. Like the dwarves lead to them, and you would know that like they're also not somebody to be fucked with because generally they are very martial. Like where your life has been all like battle, so is his. He might be 4 feet tall, but he's like he is a warrior in his own right. And when he said seeker, that means he's one of the few that have probably gone through something fucking insane.
Bet. Okay, so
I'm here with my leader, Vashat. You just fell. Are you from the surface trying to encroach on our lands?
And like Aison's gonna look up and be like,
encroach. If he notices that you don't understand the word, he would shake his head. Are you with all the moron cows that are trying to kill us?
Us. And he was like,
as he
no,
said,
I went to this cow, and he was like, there are these really big rats.
Right.
Is that you?
And he opens his hand and lights he makes fire out of his hand. And as he does, you can see there's like 60 or so rats behind him. These are all not the big rats. These are all him. Like these are all versions of. And he's like, we're the Skeda. We're an army. This is our tower. This is our way up to the surface when we need to be up at the surface. We generally don't bother people, but lately there's been cows coming down here killing us. He goes,
are they aware? I was told that these were just rats that were causing a problem. But they're actually what do you call them? Skilleth?
We're Skeda. We're Skeda.
Oh, Ruskeda?
No, just Skeda.
Oh, okay. I was trying to make sure I spell it right.
If you're trying to spell it, it's where did I write it? Sketteh. Sketta.
Oh, okay. So I feel like him having heard of the Skeda, that he would feel differently now about the rats that he was supposed to be killing, right? Because now they're warriors.
Yeah, these are great warriors.
Not just and so I feel like he would communicate that in the sense of you're warriors. You're not just rats.
He looks back and gestures, and one of them pass up a torch, and he like lights it and then hands it to you. And he would say, we are the Gnaw Seekers. Yes, we are great warriors. That's why we're still here. We've killed dozens of these fucking things so far.
Help me return to the surface. I will tell them that, you are not just mindless rats. They probably don't know.
You're right. They don't seem super bright.
Sometimes in a smartness is he's gonna
Nellet puts his hand out, his little paw out. It's tiny compared to your hand, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
Ace would, squat down and do the respect rule number 5, right? Respect warriors of all sides. You don't grow to be this big, you know. You start off like that.
Hold on. I have to keep these. Okay. Yeah, Nellet kind of goes, yeah, I will, Vashat, do you mind if I take him up top? And, behind them, crouched over, is this very dark furred rat. He's kind of like sitting on this outcropping piece. It looks like this big metal piece that like maybe might have been like a drain at some point. And he's sitting, and he kind of like stands up tall. He's a little bit taller than everybody else. Like
Right.
where they're like 4 feet tall, he's like 4'3".
Check.
He also has like 2 scimitars crossed on his back. He has the full cloak. He has a long tail, and at the end of his tail there is a knife clipped onto it as if he could use his tail as a weapon itself.
Mm-hmm.
And he has one of his ears that have 2 daggers poked behind it like they are supposed to be feathers.
Oh.
And he looks up and goes, "Oh, yeah, bring him up top, but I mean, he looks like he might be able to kill 100 of these cows if we employ him properly."
I can kill 100 of anything if employed properly.
I agree. And he
But
jumps
you look
down.
like you.
He like does like a full flip, jumps down, lands in front of you. And he goes, "Ah!" And he snaps, and a bunch of the rats all pile up so he can be your eyesight.
Nice.
Like they like move to where he like is now standing to your height, and his cloak flows over them so it looks like one person.
I fell with one of them.
Oh.
What happened to him?
And he like leans and looks down the other hole and goes, Would you like us to actually get him?"
I just met him.
Great. And then and then like a bunch of rats just fly down the hole, and he goes, "We'll get him anyway." And he goes, "My name is Vashat. I am the leader. I'm I'm in charge of the Null Seekers. I have an offer for you."
Oh.
Yes. You're going to go up top. I can send some of my warriors with you if you must. We don't really like the light, though. It's hard. It's hard on our eyes. But if you can stop them from coming back down here, we will consider you a great friend of our people. And I will give you safe passage to wherever you need to go underground.
I would also like the opportunity later on to have a round of combat with you. I feel like it would be a great challenge to, yes, I would feel very honored to fight.
With me?
A Null Seeker.
Are there rules to our combat?
Like maybe no magic?
Okay, deal. He just smiles.
I would like the opportunity to test my skills against a worthy opponent. So
he like flicks his ear and like kind of like twitches a little bit, and then you see him like taste his paw after shaking your hand, and he goes, and then you realize that it's not his paw that he's tasting; it's literally the other guy Nellet's paw that he's licking. But it looks like it's his because they're all trying to form like one body to be your height. And he goes, I have a great a great bargain. Yes. There is one up there that is the leader. I was going to have to go assassinate him myself, and it was going to be such a burden. But I will still do that if I need to. So you don't have to say yes. This is not a requirement. But if you take his head off, I will happily fight you. many rounds of combat till you are my equal.
I feel like Ace would have been excited until he said his equal.
I know. He feels the same way you about himself that you feel about yourself, and this is two arrogant ass motherfuckers talking to each other. No magic.
Right. I feel like Ace would be like, if I decide to take his head, it will be because I wanted to, and then I will determine, whether or not you're worthy. And he's gonna be like, to fight me. Yes, we'll see. Just like
great. Either way, it's gonna be dealt with tomorrow night.
Oh, that's soon.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Is there something special about tomorrow?
It's just when I was gonna go upstairs.
Oh.
I don't want.
Okay.
I feel like when I have to do things, if I put all of my I do things in a way that are efficient. I don't like to go upstairs often, but I do go upstairs every once in a while to make sure the sun's still there. And as long as the sun's still there, I'll kill the cow. But if the sun isn't there anymore, then I'm really going to have to kill the cow because I feel like he did it.
I've never had the sun not be there. Is that something that's possible? Like the sun disappears? I mean, like,
no,
I know
I hope
it goes
not.
away, but it comes back. It always comes back.
Yeah, I've noticed. It's very annoying. But I need that to stay up there because if it's not up there, then other people start coming into the ground, and once they come down here, I have to kill them, and it's so much work, my friend. And he puts his little paw on your shoulder, and this is his actual paw, and I will say that there is a bit of more strength to it than you would have imagined this little rat paw to have. Like it's heavier than you. Like, you know what I mean? Like he put it,
Right.
Like he puts his little paw on you, and you're like, what the fuck? Like there's some like density to this moment, and he like taps you, and you can feel like it's almost like your gravity changed just slightly as he puts his paw on you, and he's like, let me tell you, killing things is a lot of fun, but sometimes it becomes a job, and I don't like to. Rule number 3. I don't like to shit where I eat.
And he's gonna laugh and be like, yes. I have that as rule number 5.
It's a good rule.
It is indeed. This is going to be a glorious fight. I look forward to it.
I do too. Nellet, take him up top and be safe coming back down. We will have the body of your friend delivered to you as well.
Oh, yeah, sure. Throw it wherever.
Yeah. It'll be brought to you. Either way, you can do with it what you'd like. I don't know if he's alive or not. I just know that they're moving him. I can hear all the rats' voices in my head.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Great warrior, it was a pleasure. And he will have the entire rat stack bow to you as hundreds of these rats now move back into the darkness. And you're left standing in this dark area with a flame lit torch and Nellet just kind of there. And Nellet's gonna be like, well, come on, I gotta take you. You have to use the stairs, I'm guessing, and you're not gonna just climb the walls with me.
Can I climb the walls?
No.
Okay.
They're too slick.
Okay. I feel like that's something like Ace would be like.
I know, you're like, can I do that shit though?
Okay. Yeah, if I have to take the stairs, sure.
It's just, I mean.
No, I'm just fucking with it. It's fine. We'll take the stairs.
All right, cool.
Press the stairs.
All right, great. Okay, moving back to Mayrin and Isis out in front of this area.
Did we hear the multiple explosions?
Probably.
Oh god. Okay, yeah, we should definitely check that out.
That's the direction of Soul. I feel
Definitely
like
should check
Asen
that
can
out.
take care of himself.
I agree, 100%. He should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, you guys run back down to where Soul is. Grant is currently walking out of this place with Soul on his shoulder. It was very quick. Like this fight happened very quickly. Grant killed like 5 of these giant rats by himself. And you guys,
Soul, I found kitten.
huh?
Soul, I found kitten.
Fluffy.
So glad to be back with you guys.
Grant's gonna be like, "Ha! It's great to meet you, other large person," and he's gonna put his like hand out to shake, like a father would to, you know what I mean, like give you the dad shake, the really firm handshake,
Firm handshake, yeah, you know.
making eye contact.
Yeah, full eye contact. Yes, ISIS handshake.
It's nice to meet you, Isis. My name is Grant.
Grant likes explosions.
Oh, that's so cool. Was that all the sounds that we heard earlier?
It likes explosions. Yeah. I mean, I am what was I gonna say? His name is Grant Barkbreaker.
I'm sure it is.
Sure is.
Their friends, Maurice, helped me get a sample of the metal. They're putting it in a chest for us.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Moomoo's a great guy, let me tell you. Yo, and this little dude right here, he killed one of the rats we're trying to kill. He's a good little dude too. We're gonna get him all worked out, and he's gonna like ruffle your hair even though you don't have any. And he's gonna look at Isis. And
Soul has killed a chimera. Yeah,
Yeah,
it with my own
Soul
eyes.
is-
yes,
Yes, he
he
has.
told me. He said he's gonna regale me of the story about how he saved the pregnant woman tonight over
I was going
dinner.
to say there was also a pregnant woman. Yes.
That's
Your friend
fantastic.
Tam was pregnant.
Is it one of you two?
No.
No, not anymore. Not. I'm done.
I'm done for now.
Choices have been made, I see. Great.
So Soul's just gonna look with a confused look on his face towards both of you.
Children are they're great. They're blessings, but they are a lot. They're a lot.
It's wild. I keep meeting taken women out in these woods. And he's gonna pick up Soul and put him down.
Not taken.
Mayrin, go.
Not taken. At least not in this round.
That's a rule, right?
Is that a rule? Is it a rule?
What happens in this round stays in this round? Yeah, rule number 5.
This is a really dumb joke that's gonna keep up, I can see.
Yeah.
I love it. And he just kind of snorts and laughs. Well, I'm sure the professor wants to look over some of the stuff we blew out of the wall. But then we're gonna go down there and have to slay a bunch of mice. They've been killing my people, and frankly, they're just a nuisance. If you all would like to, he's gonna look at Isis and Mayrin. Stay safe, or come, or I think you said you had 2 friends that you were looking for, though.
Yeah, Hot Pants is
I think Hot Pants went down there to take care of your mice.
he's purely capable on a strength side.
Oh, somebody's already down there. Then we should all go together and find him.
When he says that, you'll see Soul actually just kind of takes the pot lid, and it's got a rat's tooth sticking out of it, and the rest of it's in splinters. And I'm going to be like, is there any way we can get the new shield first? Before we go down.
Ah, yes, we do. We need to get you some good stuff. I will we'll eat dinner. I'll have you given some new equipment, and then we can go up to up top and check to see what's going on, and maybe we'll be the high ground while my other Minotaurs will be the low ground, and we can pincer the rats and squash them nicely.
I love that idea.
If it works for both of you, it works for me.
And then and then we can figure out what's going on here and help you out with anything that you guys need after that, because we'll be done with our current assignment.
Have you considered just asking the rats if you could go down there?
Last time we spoke to one, I believe we got a couple arrows in the chest, and he killed what's his dung snout's friend's name? What did I say his name was? I think I have it as Skull Grinder, something like that. I have a bunch of silly names written down for characters that are already dead. But yes, he killed one of the other warriors, and it was a problem. So I that's why they hired us to go ahead and excavate through the bottom, and of course, Mr. Hamlin was like, "That's a great idea, because then we can find stuff." And now I'm here, blowing up. Well, I'm here doing fine work. We'll just say that.
I was about to say you are doing an excellent job.
Oh, thank you.
Really enthusiastic about his explosions.
I'm enthusiastic about them too.
As you should be.
As we all should be, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Asen, where are you brought? I think now it would take you up to the top and show you to the front door, and Maul Ripper's body is already out front. He does not have his he doesn't have his lantern anymore. He looks like he's still breathing, but he's definitely out cold.
Are there people around? Because Asen would be like, him, like, he's almost dead. Do something if you want him to be, like, alive, right? If there's not people, like, he's just gonna, like, drag him with him.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably drag him to the point where, like, Dung Snout and Fang Brace can see you.
Yeah, that would work. So I would, just kind of, like, drag him a little bit and be like, we fell.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Dung Snout will be like, yeah, he's a bit more enthusiastic than normal. I'll get him taken care of down with everybody.
Have you seen Fluffy?
Who? Oh,
Fluffy, giant cat.
Yes, she went down.
It's gonna be like Ears.
Yeah, Ears went down to the dock. Down, and he points down the road a little bit. And Neelet did not come with you. He just brought you to the surface and then went back down.
Correct.
All right.
Yes. Because Asa needs to now tell Fluffy and about the whole rat situation.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out, like, he didn't know, because he didn't stick around long enough to talk to the really tiny Minotaur, right? So he doesn't know anything about that. Okay, yeah, we left pretty early.
Right. Okay. So you all, Asen, you would find them. You'd get down to the camp and see them all eating food, because they're all sitting around ready to eat dinner. Go ahead.
Cool. So, like, Asen would totally plop down, grab him a plate, and, like, in the middle of eating, right, he'd be like, so, went to go kill rats. Big, giant rats, right? Fell. The rats are smart. They are sketted, right? They're not rats. They're warriors that live underground. We don't actually need to kill them.
Both Sol and Mayrin, you both know what Sketa are. Isis,
right? And so he's just gonna.
Isis, I don't really know if you know what Sketa are because you're not really from here.
I don't think I would.
But Sol, you would definitely know what Sketa are. And Mayrin, I think that it's something that because you've been here long enough that you would have heard about them.
Right. So yeah, this tower thing that you guys that the cows are attacking, that's their way to the surface. So we don't really need to do any of that. Just for
Perhaps
whatever
we
we're
can
doing.
broker peace for historical excavation.
Oh yeah, I've already broken out a peace deal. They what's that really fat Minotaur thingy, right? The little short thing with the staff. Yeah. They want him dead. Yeah, they decided that they wanted him dead.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Isis would look at are the other Minotaur around so they can hear what we're talking about too? No? Okay. So she would look to, Asen and Sol and be like, we have a bit of a time crunch with weird short Minotaur guy. He's doing weird magic fuckery. And he's killing all of the working Minotaur here to do some terrible ritual.
Is he? I was pretty sure the Sketeth probably killed him. But
he's using blood sacrifices and is killing the Minotaur workers for his patron.
I mean, they are workers, so it's not like they're warriors. There's a really big difference between the two.
They're also historians. Who tells the story of the warrior if the historian does not live?
They're still people.
What is a historian?
A storyteller.
Like they tell stories of how great I am? Like
yeah. And without them, your story never continues.
Right.
Okay. So we save the cows because they tell stories of how great Asen is.
Yes.
We kill the Minotaur, the short one.
Yes.
Because he's fucking around with magic.
He's doing some real sketchy shit.
And right. Okay. I like this. I see this whole plan coming together. God,
we have
so
another
good
problem.
at strategy.
What about the warriors that the short Minotaur employed?
What warriors? I thought they were all Asen storytellers.
Not all.
That's the ones down here.
What warriors? Yeah. I haven't run into any great warriors. The guy I went down with is like half dead. He couldn't survive the fall.
Wow.
Yeah, I told you we fell.
Maybe the warriors that he has would be swayed if they knew he was about to use them for use the people here for blood sacrifice.
And what warriors? I feel like I haven't run into any of those.
Maybe they're just not on your level of greatness.
I mean, most people aren't on my level of greatness, but
they're all working that way, though. We need to give them the chance to achieve that greatness. Or at least try.
Asen, I think you would very much like Grant.
All right.
Let's meet him. What a great moment as Grant walks over. And kind of plops down. He's got a huge bowl that he's gonna now drink. This is the first time you've seen him eat. It's just a giant bowl of vegetable broth and all of the different like turnips and any kind of root vegetable he can possibly find. And it's all been seeping in this water for this long, and it's steaming. and he just starts to drink, and he like drinks the whole bowl in like one go. Goes and like breathes out all the hot air, and he just goes, "Ah, that was wonderful," and sets it down and goes, "I'm on a cleanse." "Hey, you're new," and points to Asen and goes,
Hot pants.
"Oh, Hot Pants, this is a pleasure to meet you. Would you like some food? I can get you some actual food if you're not. I'm on a cleanse. How about you?"
Fuck a cleanse. I'm taking the actual food. What am I cleansing from?
He points over yonder to where all the other Minotaur are huddled around and goes, "I believe they're currently eating one of the oxen. You can go ahead and grab some of the meat off of there if you'd like."
Asen will get up and walk away.
Yeah, you get over. They've like completely roasted one of the large oxen over top of a large bonfire, and are currently picking at it like it's a pig picking party.
Bet.
So Mayron's going to look at Grant. "I think we may have found a solution to your rat problem."
Ah, yeah, me too. I'm gonna burn them all alive tomorrow.
"Well, you know how you have a gut feeling about Armal?
Yeah,
They want him dead.
good.
Perhaps we could use that as a way to just let you guys have passage without having to kill each other."
Mm.
I'm gonna level with you. I'm pretty sure the rats down there are Skedeth. In which case, they're not gonna give us passage below. That's why I've been killing all their. And he looks over and goes, "Attack dogs," and kind of smiles at Soul because Soul killed one.
Bit bigger than dogs, but attack is certainly right.
Right.
It can be pretty persuasive.
Me
And
too.
my friend over there, my friend over there, as gullible as he is also pretty persuasive when it comes to warriors.
Well, I will see that out with you. But worst comes to worst, I'm gonna kill all of them.
As you can.
As I will.
But perhaps without Short Stack up there in the way.
Oh, no.
Violently.
By all means, if you all would like to do away with Armal, I'm not going to stand in your way.
And Soul's going to look over at Isis and be like, and just the eyes will say, "Do we tell him what he's planning?"
I feel like she would be kind of tired of like the games of like keeping secrets and be like, okay, like, would y'all have mentioned the fact that he'd said something to y'all about his workers going missing? Would y'all have said that to her?
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
talked to
I
Ace.
Yeah.
So like she would just say, all of the workers that you've been wondering where they've been going, he's been killing them.
And he kind of like takes a deep like breath in, and he like sits and thinks, and you can see the like anger kind of well up in him a little bit, and then he kind of says, "I see. Don't tell the professor."
Well, why not? Will that upset him?
Yes, the professor is he cares a lot, but he also is very trusting of those around him. And there's no reason to burst bubbles. And he would dig through the cooked vegetables and pull out like a parsnip and like kind of like grind it up in his hand a little bit and then like eat it. And he'd say, "I'm currently on a cleanse, and it's not doing anything for my anger issues, let me tell you. And he
It's
just
just like the time Aiden walks back with like a massive thing of like meat, like plops down next to him, and like Fluffy, and like distributes.
Isis would look at Grant and be like, I feel like there is a different kind of cleanse that we can do that would help with your anger.
I could think of many.
The first one that we'll start with is weird little short guy in there.
Absolutely.
You told him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So everybody's on board with my plan.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
I feel like there's still a hiccup. We have the hired men that would need to be separated from him or swayed against him, so we don't have to deal with all of them.
Would Grant know where they are?
Or how to deal with that?
Grant would say, you're talking about like Maul Ripper and Dung Snout and Fang Grinder and all them. Yeah, there's about 10 of them. A couple of them on patrol right now, and I mean, most of them seem pretty nice. I don't know. I haven't had any issues with any of them. I definitely could pull them aside if you wanted to talk to them or something, but they are also, what did they say? A lot of them are consigned. They're also consigned to old Yeth, the fat cow up top, Armal. He's got a lot of them consigned to him, so I don't really know a lot about them. Maul Ripper seems like a pretty nice guy. Dung Snout's nicer than Maul Ripper. Dung Snout's name isn't actually Dung Snout. It's actually just Snout. But they use him as there's something different about him compared to everybody else, so they all make fun of him. You know how it is.
Indeed.
Yeah, your Maul Ripper guy. Yeah, he's pretty much dead. I mean, they're healing him, but
oh, what a shame.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Did you? Insight check.
Well, then I guess we'll take the night, and then tomorrow morning we'll deal with some things.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's great. And he kind of like leans back and like rests against like one of the walls of the thing, and you can, as he kind of like rests back against the wall, you can hear the wall kind of like, even though it's this brick like giant like stone wall, it creaks slightly with all the metal inlaid in it at how heavy like how much bulk Grant has against it.
Oh, Asen, we found fire resistant metal.
Oh,
Yeah. At this point, could I have had the chest moved over to where we were going to be sitting for dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
was
has
going
the
to ask
hole in
you
it.
to take a look at that.
yeah. Lisa would definitely like open and like knock on it, like like that was gonna be like, yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
right. Like pick it up, being like, yeah, this is good stuff. Like,
Soul will just start nerding out about how he noticed that the walls were singed with what looked like dragon fire, and this metal was in the walls that held up the best, and just start telling as much of the history as he was able to put together to y'all.
And while Soul is talking about that, Grant is gonna turn to Mayron and be like, you know, he really seems to really enjoy his metal.
It's adorable.
It is cute, I guess. And he's gonna look and say, I've only seen you eat vegetables so far.
that's why she's veggie.
And he's gonna
That's
nod.
weird.
He's gonna nod to Asen and say, "Oh, you're veggie. I thought we were looking for some kind of plant friend or something."
I had no idea I was veggie. That's new.
Oh.
She's going to point at Asen. That's Hot Pants. This is Fluffy / Kitten, and this is Sticky.
Right. And what are you?
Apparently veggie.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Veggie.
I mean, typically people refer to me as Mayren, but veggie is apparently the thing because I refused to acknowledge that Asen gave me his name.
Oh, that's a shame. I was gonna say I'm currently on a cleanse, so I'm a vegetarian.
That sucks. You should let me know when you're done with the cleanse.
Right. He's gonna just smile, and he's gonna shake his head and go back to listening to Soul tell this elaborate story.
But
And
I feel like Ace would like knock on like just this would make a great sword or shield or larger axe. Like he's just like thinking of like, oh, can we get more of this? Is there more?
It's in the walls.
It's in the walls.
It's in the walls, man.
And Soul would have pointed that out, that it's inlaid in walls, buildings, all sorts of stuff around here.
As you say, can we get more of that? Grant is gonna put his hand up against like the wall that he's sitting next to, and just crack one of the stones in half, and then and point to the metal underneath of it, and be like,
God.
"It's all inside here, man."
That was a very clear show of strength. I don't know how Asen feels about that. Like, feels like a challenge.
Oh no, Grant
like
had eye contact the whole time.
I feel like we should do something in return, Asen. What you gotta answer that.
100%.
You hear Mayren just kind of mumble, "Fuck Grant."
Right.
And then under
I
that, no,
remember
if Mayren says that, he's just gonna snicker and say vegetarian for the moment.
I rolled a 22 on fear for strength. I want to smash a wall or something and make the same eye contact and be like,
Yep, same thing. So back and forth, both of them. But because it's fear, it's not going to intimidate him. But it's both of them. These are just two people doing this, and I think that's a perfect place to end.
Yeah.
Just both of them having this show of strength. It's beautiful. I'd like to thank everybody for watching episode 3. I know that this is not coming out in the same time, but for everybody that had to go through the hurricane that happened on the East Coast, I hope that everybody's safe. We love all of you. Make sure that you all are doing good, and for anybody else who's going through anything else like that, if you need a community or if you need anything to like just people to reach out to and be friends with, our Discord link is in the bio of this whole thing, and it's also in here. We always love to invite everybody to our community to come play a game with us sometime, come hang out. If you just need somebody to vent to, there's always people around. But furthermore, we're just always welcoming, and everybody here is safe, and that's just the way it is. We love you all. Thank you all for watching, and go buy Doomling stuff. Anyway, bye guys.